The following is a live sports presentation on Glycon.
Glycon's coverage of UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday starts now.
And a pleasant good evening from Manual Stadium, the top Week 7 matchup in Kentucky. It's DuPont Manual, Marty Lowe. They're hosting the St. X Tigers. This game has very significant ramifications, not only tonight, but moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got two great programs. You know, you got one in St. X that's trying to get back in the win column after losing 3 straight. And, you know, Manual's beat them 2 times in a row and took care of the turnover battle in those games, so stayed on top of it. So 2 big programs, obviously a beautiful night here in October, so you know, what else can you ask for?
This is a Manual bunch coming into this game off a bye, defeated Bullitt East 2 weeks back, and their top player offensively, Jerry and Trainer, did not play, but for them at this point, it's next man up.
Yeah, it is, and that's always the mentality. I mean, once you kind of establish a program, and you know, they've kind of done really well over the past few years, and you know, trying to get over the private school hump, I guess, playing those guys, you know, with Trinity and St. X and dealing with Male. But now you got a team that's got to step up again, you know, tonight against St. X, and you know, see if they can answer the call.
Yeah, St. X is 3-3, and for the first time in many moons, and we'll talk more about that. They've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, definitely, and really it makes it kind of tough. And regardless of the competition, you play out of town versus Elder, and then you have Trinity out at Cardinal Stadium, and they come up short on that one. And then you know, last week with the quarterback out, and you know, playing with some backup quarterbacks, you know, weren't able to score many points. So you know, they're on a 3-game slide.
Tonight's weather forecast presented by our great friends at HKC Roofing. You can contact roofyourhouse.com for more information. They are better than guaranteed, as is this weather. It is spectacular, if you will. Temps in the low 60s. It will be a chilly 55 before we wrap things up this evening. Keith Eckloff, his 2nd season as the Manual coach. He'll join us next. Just getting started from Manual Stadium, St. X and the Crimsons on Glycon.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer. Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Polo Real Estate Group, your one-stop real estate source. Founded by 1993 Male graduate Dion Reese. Contact him at 502-387-6330 or visit online at polorealestategroup.com.
It still looks like the old Raider Stadium, but the field is mostly ground in the middle of the field, ran all the water to the fences. No one wants that, but it is a sports field to go out. Here's the second game.
We apologize, some technical difficulties, so no Keith Eckloff interview, but what you folks at home didn't hear was Keith discussing the mentality of Caden Mack at quarterback and just the growth of the junior and how much he's improved at that position.
Really, as you look at him, and over the last couple of years especially, since, I've kind of seen him and watched him develop, and now just with his, his arm motion, his decisions, being able to pull the ball down, make something happen with it, and not, throw it into coverage, but throws a really good deep ball, makes pretty good decisions. Obviously, he's active in the run game, for them too, so to watch his maturation over 2 years, and especially last year as he's come on, now it's really set him up for, a big game like this for sure.
15 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Those are winning numbers for any position.
Absolutely. Anytime, quarterback can take care of the ball like that, to where you just give yourself, a chance to not lose it. I mean, punting's not bad at times, so being able to make those good decisions, pull it down, use your legs, if necessary to extend drives, and then obviously not throwing into coverage, and really kind of putting your defense in a position where they have to play more plays than necessary. So, great job by that kid.
This Manual team, they're doing it a well-balanced unit. 36 points, but +5 on turnovers.
Yeah, and that's one thing over in the past, it's been all run, from Manual too. So, to be able to rely on those, the key to pass and obviously key in the run also, to be able to rely on both of those, it's been huge for them. Scoring points, putting them in good situations, to be able to capitalize.
Casey Huff is with us tonight. We'll check in with her. She's down on the sidelines. After this timeout, you'll meet Casey and you'll hear more on the pregame report. It's UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday. St. X and Manual on Glycott.
Buying or selling a new home, and you want to do it with few hassles? Count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. with health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com. Celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
Blind direct, not just blind. Blind direct, not just blind.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Back live at DuPont Manual High School. Let's check in with Casey Huff. She's down on the field.
Well, you can definitely feel the energy down here tonight on Manual's side. It's their senior night. Between the seniors, the rest of the team, the coaches, and the fans, you can feel the confidence radiating off of Manual's side. But you can't count out St. X. I've been watching them warm up. They are calm, they are focused, and they are determined. I spoke with Coach Wallace a few moments ago, and he seems confident going into this game. He doesn't seem worried, even though they've been coming off of a few tough losses. So they definitely will not be going down without a fight, and they plan on leaving this stadium with a win. So it should be a good matchup tonight. Back to you guys.
Well done, Casey. Thank you so much. Marty, let's talk more about this St. X team. What has stood out as you've gotten ready for this one?
Well, I mean, defensively, they'd like to hang their hat on that. They'll make sure that you're going to stay balanced, take care of the ball. They play assignment football like nobody else. They do what they're coached to do. They're where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there, and they tackle well. So that's the biggest thing. I mean, defensively, offensively, what they're going to do. And obviously if seems that Mason Trimble, will start, this game. And if his ankle holds up well, I'm sure he'll get that offense off kicking, right away.
Karsten Bush, an offer this week from Miami of Florida. The U of L commits 61 tackles. There you see 6 for a loss. But on offense, Marlon Harbin, what he's been able to do throughout his career at every position that he's been put on the field is something else.
Yeah, I mean, an athlete like that, I mean, Travis Hunter style, but I mean, being able to run the ball, run after the catch, being able to cover what he does defensively as well. So, he's the key, and I know, speaking with some of Manual's coaches, obviously he's the key, and making sure that on defense, they know where he's at, and allowing, him to really kind of have to work for it on defense. And then, when he's on the offensive side of the ball, they have to make sure that they're keying on him, because if they're not trying to get him the ball, obviously that would be a shame just because of what a great athlete he is. So done really well. We'll continue in the future as well.
Tonight's broadcast is authorized by DuPont Manual High School with production rights owned by Glycod. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all participating student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching. Up next, Marty Lowe will have a series called The Lowdown. We'll talk more in depth about both of these outstanding quarterbacks. It's St. X and Manual. Kickoff in 17 minutes from Glycod.
Blind direct, not just blind. Blind direct, not just blind.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
When you want the right agents for your real estate, choose the Van Treese team with Semin & Realtors, Louisville's oldest and largest real estate firm. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura have put their diverse and combined expertise to work in helping you buy or sell your house. Contact the Van Treese team at 502-468-1463 or visit them online at vantreeseteam.semin.com. Semin & Realtors, always one step ahead.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in, like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right, Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville. You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycon.
The burgers are cooking and the smoke is rising. It's Friday night football here at DuPont Manual High School. Marty Lowe, let's talk about both of these quarterbacks, part of our lowdown series. First, Mason Trimble. How would you summarize him and his development?
You know, really watching him over the last couple years, really watching how he's handled this offense. I mean, they're doing things now, very consistently, with their concepts, the decisions they're putting on him, even making some decisions at the line of scrimmage, to get them into better situations. So very heady quarterback, very, very cognitive in his ability to read defenses, throws a really good ball, really tight spiral, whatever. And the biggest thing is that he can extend plays, number one, and get first downs, and two, even keeps his head up, when he's running out of the pocket, to make plays, once things break down. So he's done a great job, in that decision making. And, the yards he's throwing for and some of the touchdowns and the numbers he's put up over the last couple of years, he's only gotten more and more consistent, with what they're doing offensively.
Did not play last week in the loss versus Boyle County. Boyle's a good team, but make no mistake, that was a huge difference in that game.
Absolutely. I mean, an offense having to adjust, to new quarterbacks coming in, the younger guys. I mean, all of their juniors, but not a lot of playing time. So to get him back, in this game, hopefully, they can get started fast offensively for St. X.
We talked about Caden Mack a bit ago, just in terms of what he's done statistically, but he is more than just a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you can use him in so many different ways. I mean, the RPO game, I mean, even in the solid zone read game, where he can make decisions and use his legs, in the run game, automatically. But been very good by him over the last 2 years, really this past offseason, of putting the time in to really trying to change his mechanics and become a more consistent passer and really understand the passing game. And now offensively been able to, rely on the run game as they've done, traditionally with Manuel, and now being able to, to use the passing game, as a strength. And, as I stated earlier, has really worked hard on his deep ball, and he throws a really, really good deep ball.
The improvement in leadership. He's played a while now, but it feels like longer than he really has, only a junior.
I was actually laughing kind of in the pregame to myself because, even in working with him, he doesn't say a whole lot. He's not real emotional. He's just very heady and takes the information you give him. And then out here, I'm watching during pregames, and he's fired up and doing exactly what he needs to do.
Be right back on Glycod.
Red Ball Recycling is Southern Indiana's #1 recycling choice for a reason. We offer top dollar for all scrap metal. We can buy steel, copper, aluminum, brass, junk cars, and more. Call or stop by Red Ball Recycling and turn your scrap metal into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
This is the mower that cut the lawn, that became the place their kids grew up. The legendary Exmark Laser Z is the zero-turn mower more landscape pros trust. For cut quality, comfort, and reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life. Visit your local dealer or explore the Exmark Laser Z online for special finance offers, available now.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com, celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Keith Eckloff, head coach of DuPont Manual, joins us. Keith, a big one tonight versus St. X, and you're coming into this off a bye week. So how do things look here with some additional rest?
The additional rest is great. We were a little bit beat up, and I think our guys are feeling healthy and fresh. We did, because of flooding issues, lose our Tuesday practice this week, which I think may affect us a little bit, at least early, getting into the flow of things. So hopefully we can overcome that.
Jerry and Trainer, your star running back, doesn't play a couple of weeks ago with an injury, but for Manuel, it's next man up. And Jeremy Presley, Keith, has been very good in his absence. Just describe the growth of this junior running back.
Yeah, it's great when you see a guy in your program that you see the potential in, and all of a sudden he feels like he can sort of put it together. When Trainer went down, Presley, I think, really was – his confidence was boosted when he saw how much confidence his teammates had in him, and he really shined while filling in.
So what is the makeup
with this program, or what does it say about your program that you've got such a credible depth now here in year 2 for you guys?
Well, for a 6A team, our roster size is pretty small, but we feel like we've got really good quality guys, high character kids who work really, really hard, and our coaching staff spends a lot of time developing those second and third string guys so that we try to make sure that we're ready to go.
4 games left, 3 in the district. What's the big focal point as you guys really get inside the meat of your schedule?
Yeah, so, it's one thing to win your non-district schedule. That feels really great, and we've played some really tough opponents through the course of the year. But when it gets down to it, the games that matter for playoff seeding, at least the first couple of rounds, is your district games. So we have to take the mindset that this is sort of a fresh start.
What's the key with St. X? I know they've lost 3 in a row, but their schedule has been very daunting.
Yeah, their schedule has been daunting. And for us, the key offensively is to try to make sure that they can't outnumber us in any particular area of the field. They're really good at trying to get an extra man in the box, trying to get an extra man in coverage. For us, really try to schematically limit that opportunity, I think, is the key. And then defensively, they've got this incredible all-state candidate in the backfield and a receiver that we've got to deal with, and they've got a quarterback who's a real problem.
Talk about your quarterback here real quick, Caden Mack, in terms of his growth. His numbers really define a winner, just all the touchdowns and only 1 interception this year.
Yeah, I mean, we really put an emphasis on trying to take care of the football and make sure we don't turn it over. I feel like we've got a lot of playmakers, and if we just get 2 or 3 more opportunities, we're gonna eventually make a big play. And so we've tasked him with taking care of that football, and he's done an outstanding job in that department. And when he gets loose out of the backfield, he's extremely fast, and he presents problems for a defense himself.
I know the South Warren loss still resonates, but everything's in front of you. Have you looked at the RPI at all in terms of the growth where you guys are?
Well, yeah. I mean, you certainly take a look and see where you are. That's round 3, and it's been a long time around here since we've made it to round 3. So I'm trying to keep my focus on district play and getting out of those first 2 rounds.
Good luck tonight, Keith. Thank you.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Head coach Keith Eckloff. Be right back after this.
Go ahead. Pour it on. As thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering. Serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham. Always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. From Glycod, it's UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday. UA Local 502 and the Mechanical Contractors Association of Kentucky. We do it right the first time. Tonight's game is brought to you by Red Ball Recycling, your premier metal recycling solution. HKC Roofing, better than guaranteed. Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. German American Bank, building our community since 1910. State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Shelton, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Anderson's Sales and Service, a top choice for homeowners and lawn professionals. And by Interstate Batteries and Holy Smokes Barbecue. Now to the field for all the action from Glycod on UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday.
Welcome to Manual High School. It's the place to be tonight in Kentucky for high school football. The St. X Tigers and the Manual Crimsons. I'm Chris LeVar along with former U of L quarterback Marty Lowe. Casey Huff is on the sidelines. Joe O'Million, our camera operator, and Steve Bird, Glycod's executive producer. St. X football to start. And this is a Tigers offense that has sputtered at times, Marty.
Yeah, it has, whatever. I mean, just trying to get that balance and watch that running game hopefully grow. You know, they got to definitely establish that consistency right away. You know, and hopefully with the, you know, the starting quarterback coming back, hopefully they can kind of start taking some steps toward that really, really early in this game.
Tigers have a couple of weapons back to return. Marlon Harbin, he is a bona fide Mr. Football candidate, and he will be back inside his own 5-yard line as Caden Barker, the companion of Harbin. Great atmosphere as Manual and St. X, these two teams, they've met since 1931 at least. Crimsons have won 2 straight, including a 7-point edging last year off Poplar Level Road. Thanks for joining us tonight on Glycod.
Yeah, Manual's definitely had their number over the last 2 years, so we'll see who gets this turnover battle going.
Jackson Pritz to kick it off for Manual, and it is a high angling kick in the direction of Barker. And Barker at the 10, trying to bounce it outside, and Caden Barker across the 20, a little room, and he'll nestle against the 26-yard line, and the Tigers will commence this drive right there.
Well, I tell you what, they catching that ball and being able to get from outside the left hash all the way to the right sideline, you know, running that hump, that's a great return and a good start for St. X.
Tigers have a new right tackle tonight. It's Tevin Wilson. He was injured all of camp. He gets his first game of the year, and he's going to start at right tackle. The right guard is Charlie Hummel. Connor Dwyer, the center. The left side of the line, John Thomas. Left guard, Jack Moran, is the left tackle. Mason Trimble, the quarterback, and he's in a gun, and it's out in the flat, and it's caught. That's Cooper Davis Yates, and Yates across the 35, and he's close to a first down.
Good little flat pass, you know, by Trimble. You know, nice job, you know, with the stack set right here by the receivers. So defensive backs have to play off a little bit, you know, just with the stack look like that. It gives up the flats right away.
Trimble, a very efficient passer on the season at plus 60%, and that's a pickup of 11 and a first down. Cooper Davis Yates, the primary running back, as he's to the right of Trimble, with Marlon Harbin. Primary receiver also Lucas Shelton as well. 2 of the 3 at the top of your screen. It's 1st and 10 Tigers. And Trimble, plenty of time to throw. Angles it across, Shelton on a slant, first down, slung down at the 48, and a gain of 15 yards.
Well, that helps when you have Harbin and you have Bush really pushing upfield, you know, with the seam and then a dig coming under, and then you get the drag coming up underneath all 3 of them. You know, Manual's defense a little bit deep with the safeties, you know, which allowed him to be able to step up, Trimble step up in the pocket and be able to deliver that ball underneath.
Shelton, his 21st grab of the season, and Mason Trimble, 2 of his first 2 for St. X as they'll operate inside Crimson's territory. Trimble going to his second read. He's going to pirouette to the left, and a positive play there as he slides down for a gain of 2.
I don't think you get to see him. I mean, the right side defensive end there from Manual gets in his vision to throw another flat pass right there, which, you know, disrupts that. You know, he was going to try to get it to him right away, but great job keeping that, spinning out. And best thing you like seeing him do is just get on the ground. You know, you're just coming back from an injury, so great decision right there to keep it positive.
Manual's front 4, Les Hall at left side defensive end. Jamari Long, the inside tackle, a freshman with Elijah Wilkins and DJ Richardson, the other edge. And it's 2nd down and 8, and there's a crafty handoff, and Davis Yates will spring a Manual leak and a gain of 13 and another first down.
Yeah, nice job on the little sprint rollout right there and flipping it underneath. You know, he gets credit for a pass because it's, in front of him like that. But great job getting Manual's defense running to the right. You know, they had 8 in the box. Corners were up, you know, trying to get in a long yardage on 3rd down, but good counter by St. X.
So the Tigers marching their way down the field, 3 consecutive first downs. And they'll have it as we slide under 10 minutes in this quarter at the Manual 37-yard line. Trimble slides in the mouthpiece, and now an empty formation. Oh, inside handoff, that's Davis Yates, and Yates will drag Jeremiah Stevens, the linebacker, for a gain of about 4.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 yards right there. That's good, you know, because, I mean, you had 4 or 5 pass calls and even the rollout showing pass, so really trying to use that passing game to set up a run, you know, to really try to keep some consistency and balance with this offense. But, you know, still got a few. You know, wasn't a huge gain, but nice job keeping it balanced by St. X.
Gain of about 3, be 2nd down and 7. As Trimble in the shotgun, rolling to the short side of the field. And he's going to float it out of bounds in the grasp of Stevens, but out of the pocket, so it's an incomplete pass.
You know, they start out, St. X starts out and trips to the right. You know, they motion the guy over to balance up the formation. Manuel's countering the passing game now, okay, by rolling 3 guys over the top, so play trips with a backside corner sitting on it, which is where Mason Trimble is looking. So had everything covered up into the boundary, so you had to pull it down. Still made a good decision, but you're in 3rd and long.
First incomplete pass for Trimble, and a big 3rd down for both teams. First drive of the game as St. X operating at the Manual Crimson's 37-yard line. Karsten Bush lining up to the right as Trimble slings it incomplete. He tried to find a blanketed Marlon Harbin, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, they try to run a little scissors, you know, with the curl inside and a little comeback on the outside, reading it inside out. And, you know, it was kind of a little bit chaotic over there, you know, so it made it end up spraying it, throwing the ball over the top. So, you know, still in 4-down territory here. So they're 4th and long, so we'll see what they come up with.
And the St. X offense on the field here. 4th down, and as Marty mentioned, 7, and a quick punt. Trimble trying to guide it down the sideline, and a gem of a kick. It's going to trickle inside the 5, and gathered at the 2. That is going to be a punt of some 43 yards, and Manual backed up inside their 5-yard line.
Yeah, I would never take away from wanting to throw it on 4th down, but that quick kick was pretty right there. I mean, put it inside the 5. You know, going to see now if Manual's offense, you know, can operate, you know, inside the 5 with pressure right away. So a lot of good cat and mouse going on there offensively and defensively, you know, with St. X and Manual. Manual rolled in a couple different coverages, you know, with the number of passing calls that St. X had.
Crimson's offense averaging 36 points per game. Offensive line, Elliott Dotson, Cooper Stockwell, EKU bound David Pellman is the center, Will Childs, Jamez Edwards, the right side of the line, Caden Mack, the junior quarterback, and an early flag and an early introduction to tonight's official, Barry L. Coleman.
I guess if you're going to jump off sides, that's a place to do it because you only give up a few inches, I guess, but a little jitters there on that first play.
So half the distance will up the ante. We'll call it 1st and 11. Jerry and Trainer is in the game again, did not play 2 weeks back, and I think we might have another infraction on Manual. This appeared to be the right tackle, Edwards.
Well, like Coach said, you know, they had the day off during the week, you know, because of the flooding, and it might affect them, so hopefully they can get themselves going.
Our software doesn't do decimal points, so we're going to keep it at 1st and 11 after 2 early Manual penalties. And they're backed up, are the Crimsons, initiating their first play from scrimmage. And Mack, and he is in dire straits, and Mack lunging just outside of the goal line.
You know, so I think they were going to try to boot on their first play here on 1st down after all that, but the running back went the wrong way, which, you know, didn't let the defensive line, everybody work the way they wanted to with the fake, so kind of caught Mack by surprise a little bit, but a great job by him just getting back in the field of play.
Well, he may have gotten half yard or so back to about the 1 yard line. St. X, they'll rush 4 a lot. 3 down linemen and 1 from either edge. His trainer tries to chisel his way out, and he'll lunge forward for a few up to about the 7 yard line.
Yeah, good little straight downhill, okay, inside zone, quick hitter. That's nice inside the 5 to get a little bit of breathing room off of that goal line.
Jerry and Trainer coming into this game. Manuel's top rusher at 500 yards for a career. He's close to 2,400 on the ground, one of the Crimson's top rushers over the last handful of years. So 3rd down and a nickel for Manuel, backed up inside their 10-yard line. As Mack in the belly of Trainer and denied inside that St. X front, awfully stout. Brennan Garr at the nose.
And that's what they spoke about in the pregame. Your coach was talking about the outside linebacker from St. X, where he kind of works out to pass, running along the line of scrimmage, okay, man, to still play run. So until they throw a bubble screen or something out there to really neutralize him, he's able to play run and pass effectively, which really adds extra people in the box.
Caden Barker for St. X. He is at the Crimson's 45, awaiting the punt from Jackson Pritz, who is a very credible punter for Manuel. Outstanding kicker as well. And Pritz trying to get it out of his end zone, and a gorgeous spiraling kick. Retreating, backpedaling back at the 48. Fair caught by Barker, and a punt of 56 yards.
Well, I tell you what, that's a nice job by your backup quarterback, sending a beautiful spiral up like that, good distance. So you got St. X's quarterback giving quick kicks, and your backup quarterback from Manuel, whatever, man, which is your punter, doing a good job special teams wise.
So field position early favoring St. X. This will be their first series, or rather their second series of the first quarter. From the St. X 49-yard line as Mason Trimble leaves it for Cooper Davis-Yates, and there's a small seam as Davis-Yates will gather about 3 yards up to the Manuel 47.
Yeah, and formationally and schematically lining up, you're kind of getting to a little bit more power football, and we even take the right field safety ever down and put him in the box too as extra people. So still a pretty good run, on 1st down, even with the numbers in the box.
You got 2 backs, one of whom is the H-back, Herschel Highfield, and Highfield going to be a decoy this time as Yates slung to the ground, and perhaps he was aided by a face mask, but no flag up top.
Didn't come out. Yeah, it didn't come out. So, sitting at 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, Manuel plays defense and plays back a little bit, a little more coverage, so they're just going to hand it off. So, like I said, the chess match will continue depending on how tight Manuel's defense wants to play and the decisions that Mason Trimble's going to make at quarterback.
3rd down and a long 2. Karsten Bush lined up the bottom of your screen, the last St. X player in that formation, and there's a flag as Trimble on the bootleg.
Well, yeah, the bootleg, he was going to pull up, man, looking for Harbin on a post, coming back over the top right away on 3rd and somewhat medium.
3rd down and 7.
Still looking at 2 downs here, so, they don't have to get too greedy. Still think the running game, is producing as they've done, so don't have to make anything too crazy with these calls early on. They're still feeling Manuel's defense out.
Connor Marks at the bottom of your screen did not play last week at receiver. 3rd down and 7. Trimble back to throw, and Harbin could not hang on, but a flag and an astute play by Manuel to save a touchdown.
So one way or the other on that play, they want to give the deep ball into Harbin to try to get his hands on the ball, as you do with your athletes. So nice pulling it out on play action, throwing it deep, but with a quick little tug, is going to give them the pass interference that they are looking for.
That was DJ Richardson that saved 6. And it's going to be a 1st down.
Yeah, rather give up 1st down than 6 points right away, because he was definitely leaving and going behind him and getting by him.
Nearly 7 minutes have elapsed. St. X operating for the second time. Manual going 3 and out on their first drive after being backed up deep inside their own territory. Wyatt Graven, the back for St. X. Graven gets the call, and Graven a couple of yards inside.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, Manual rolls 8. Even the 9th, because the safety's down there very tight, in the box, as well as the backside corner with a nub tight end. So knowing that they're going to heavy first down run, especially in the red zone with that, great job getting numbers, so keeps them 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Connor Marks to the near side, Lucas Shelton in the slot, and Harbin one-on-one at the top on second down and long. Is Graven to the left of Trimble, staring at a 4-man rush. Pocket collapses, slung in. A great diving catch by Connor Marks, but he came back to get it, and he's short of a first down.
Yeah, definitely 3 yards, on that pass, but it's still a positive play. Could put you in third medium, so you still use your play call sheet, nothing crazy like it would be on third and long. So, great job, with Manual's coverage, on second down, they're playing a little softer, rolling a little bit to K, depending on whether they have trips or not. So, good adjustments here defensively by Manual.
3rd down and 5 as the Tigers perched at the Manual 29. Leaking out is the backfield as the handoff inside and a gashing run and a St. X first down.
That's using the outside motion, where the inside guy is going to motion out, trying to get that outside linebacker to remove himself, and a great job by Trimble watching that outside linebacker vacate and then giving the slant, on the dart route coming right back inside. Great choice there. Good schematics there.
1st down and 10 as St. X inside the Manual red zone. Crimson's 18-yard line.
Well, it's good seeing Trimble, too. I mean, just kind of standing right there in the pocket, having time, clean look. So Manual's going to have to bring a little pressure, but I know they're scared of Harbin, too, on the deep ball.
And we're going to have a St. X timeout. We'll take a quick pause as well. 3:12 left in the first quarter. Tigers driving against Manual. You're watching Week 8 on Glycod.
Not just flies. Line direct. Not just flies.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Van Treese team with Semin Realtors, always one step ahead, and Lines Direct, your window decoration specialists.
Back at Manual Stadium, Chris Labar along with Marty Lowe. Casey Huff is on the sidelines. What's the adjustment in the huddle there for St. X?
Well, St. X right now has got to be thinking pressure's coming. You're in the red zone at the 20, 19-yard line, so they're going to try to push them back as much as they can and protect that goal line. So I would definitely think that some pressure would be coming at some point, in this series.
Caden Barker at the top of your screen as Trimble. 3-step drop, faces pressure, rolling to the right, and he's going to hurry that pass, and it's incomplete. He trying to find Connor Marks.
So they bring 1, they bring 5. They did man up, underneath. So that, and that's the thing, as you get to the red zone, they're like, look, we've got to run, with their receivers. At some point they're going to have to combo coverage, on Harbin and making sure, that they're covering their athletes. So nobody's getting left one-on-one for too long, giving Trimble too much time.
A 2nd down and 10. Time of possession in the first 9 minutes has been controlled by the Tigers. 2nd down and 10. As Trimble again puts it in the air, trying to set up a screen, and that ball is caught coming to the near sideline. That's Davis Yates, and Davis Yates in for a touchdown.
Man, so St. X thinking pressure, second down pressure, second down they're thinking pressure, but second down they've been playing zone. They stay back, they don't rally to the ball. well enough, plus a couple of broken tackles. So great run, good vision, off of that screen right there. Offensive lineman actually got downfield too, were able to chip a couple, to get him free from the line of scrimmage.
Cooper Davis Yates in for the touchdown, his first receiving score of the year. And Matthew Burt is perfect on extra points this year. He'll guide that through. And a very impressive start. St. X 7, Manual nothing. 2:58 in the first. We'll have more from Manual Stadium right after this on Glycod.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Tigers on the board. Cooper Davis Yates, 19-yard touchdown reception. Mason Trimble, his 6th passing score of the year.
And Miles and Wilson deep for Manual. See if they can get themselves in a little better field position to get started.
Logan Seals will kick off. The Tigers will basically rotate 2 kickers, one on kickoffs and field goals, the other on extra points. We take one more look at that great screen pass.
You can see right there, defensive end, goodness, he was on him right away, but, they played zone behind it. I'm no guarantee they were thinking pressure right there, so call a screen, hopefully catch them, on the run, okay, but still zone. Did a good job weaving through there for the touchdown.
So first down and 10 for this Manual offense. 3 and out on their first drive as they were perched deep inside their territory, had a pair of penalties. And now a little more advantageous start for this Manual offense. Again, averaging 36 points per game. As Caden Mack awaiting the snap from David Pellman, and that's a rifle back on Mack. Handoff to Trainer, and Trainer close to a first down as he's tripped up at the 32.
Eckhoff mentioned, that they would use motion to try to control where their linebacker's going to be. So they motion from trips, one to the boundary, which vacates that corner. They don't have anybody fill that outside gap, so that's actually where the ball ended up hitting, okay, and obviously with a good first down off of that one. That was a good run, good call, good play setup, by Manual's offensive staff.
Is the adrenaline pumping for center David Pellman? That was a snap back to
right
Mack.
There, right in the face mask.
It got on him. First down and 10, 2:30 in this opening quarter. As Mack rolling to the left, that's his strength, and he's got a little green grass, and he'll slide out, gain of 5.
Good job, roll out, design run right there. You get an extra guy over there, to help. So good play calls, to try to get numbers, to keep the running game going, for them. Definitely don't want to get one-dimensional on the Manual side, too much, especially early in the game. So great call.
I'm going to say he stepped back at the 34, so only a pickup of a couple. As Mack back to throw, and there's a flag. Had a Crimson receiver fall down. That was Braylon Miles, I believe, the intended target.
Yeah, you get blitz off the edge, so the safety rolled down. Try to get it to him quickly and get it out of his hand, but had the contact, get the penalty, moving the chains for Manual.
Having a few issues tonight with our replay igniting, so we apologize for that. But it's going to be a first down on the St. X penalty.
Yeah, so I mean, even with the 2-3 yard gain by by Caden Mack, and then the first play, the run by Trainer, and even the penalty, I mean, you're getting positives, and we're getting up toward midfield. So good decisions here, play calls and by the guys.
Manual on the march. Here's a misdirection handoff to Trainer, gain of about 1 up to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, trying to run into trips. They put the corner up there tight. I mean, Harbin's up there, with that nub edge tight end right there. So it's really an extra guy. The corner's not going to vacate. So, really going to have to motion to try to remove him or run the ball back to the field, out of trips.
Tiger defense led by linebacker Karsten Bush, 61 tackles, 4 sacks. And then in the back, it's Marlon Harbin, who really doesn't leave the field as the exemplary cornerback. Had 7 stops in the loss last week versus Boyle County.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't let him leave the field either.
Second down and long. Ball at the 50. And there's a new running back. That's Jeremy Presley. And Presley losing a couple.
And you can see, they're heating up these edges right here with the outside linebackers, from St. X are bringing it. So you get Luke Benz coming off the edge right there on the right side, and then you got defensive ends slanting across right there where they're trying to run the ball. So they're cutting off edges immediately, so they're trying to force them into passing situations in the one-dimensional part of Manuel's offense, which I know they don't want to do.
It's Luca Bentz on the stop. Third down and long for DuPont Manuel. And there is a flag.
The right guard kind of twitched a little bit, with the linebackers walking up, and even if they're bluffing, it sure is adding a whole lot of pressure. And you got safeties that are working down also, so it's giving definite pressure looks.
Third down at 15. That's Emmanuel's 3rd infraction in this opening quarter. Drive began at their 20. Now they've marched up to the 44. As Mack rolling in a design run, perhaps Mack to the near side. And he's out very close to a first down. He'll angle out at the 43, about a yard short.
Yeah, he's short or whatever. He's got to see that, to go ahead and go get it. I know he's trying to stay healthy and not the largest quarterback ever, and he's fast to foot, but you got to go get that first down.
Clock stops at 22 seconds as Manuel back to the line of scrimmage on 4th down and 1. And they're going to go Trainer pounding, and he is denied.
Yeah, so especially if he's in that pistol look behind the quarterback, especially there, it's a trigger blitz right there. Those inside linebackers are coming downhill. Outside linebackers coming right now to field, which allows those defensive linemen to pinch. So really cutting off all running lanes, from Manuel. So they really stuffed that 4th and 1.
Hunt Hempsel on the stop. And a big turnover on downs as St. X denying the Crimsons at the 43.
Had some positives from them, so it stopped on 4th and 1, but there's some stuff there to really work with and everything as far as how they want to adjust their passing game off of it too.
Cooper Davis Yates flanked to the left of Mason Trimble. 2 receivers each side, a draw to Cooper Davis Yates. Nice defense there by Manuel, point of attack.
Yeah, nice job. You get a 2-by-2. Now they're trying to spread out, in a base 2-by-2, 4 receiver look there to see how many guys, outside linebackers will remove themselves, whatever, but pinch from the outside linebackers from Manuel, whatever, which doing the same thing that St. X defense was doing also, and just pinching it.
Darian Allen on the stop. That'll wrap up quarter number 1, 2nd and 10 for St. X when you come back. You're watching UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday on Glycod.
A Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
2nd and 10, St. X from the Tigers' 43-yard line. The lone score occurring at the 2:58 mark of the first. Cooper Davis-Yates, 19-yard touchdown reception. As the Tigers have it with Mason Trimble back in the gun, facing some pressure, and he's going to dump it short, and that ball's caught just shy of the 50 up to the 49-yard line. Nice grab out there by Caden Barker.
Got a flag down also. Just good movement, good eyes, good eye discipline, and good presence by Trimble.
It's a hold, so add 10 to the tally. 2nd down and 20, the byproduct of that penalty.
Always tough the beginning of a drive right there, too.
An important drive here for Manual as they try to keep it a 1-score deficit. As Trimble up in the pocket, and here comes the pressure around the edge. Trimble going to sling to a wide open Davis-Yates, and Cooper Davis-Yates in again.
So that's the thing. I mean, you get Trimble, his eyes and eye discipline, even though he's moving around, it doesn't break down to where he becomes a runner immediately. So you had a post-wheel combination here to the right side that he was looking at initially with a drag coming back. All of it broke down. They covered it. But once he started moving, the Manuals guys are gone. All their defenders are gone.
Let's take one more look at that play from Conception as Mason Trimble buying some time. There was some pressure around the edge from Manual's Les Hall. And let's get back to the extra point first. So Burt on. And we're going to have a whistle and a flag. So 5-yard false start on St. X, and again the Tigers have 2 kickers. Logan Seals is their place kicker. Matthew Burt does field goals. Burt does extra points. And Burt 19 out of 19 on extras. We'll try one more.
Yeah, he's been 100%.
Will Burmester, tonight's backup quarterback, is your holder. And Burt's kick right down Broadway. Let's take one more look at this great pass by Trimble.
Watch these.
We'll watch the raw video. We should have left this replay back in Lexington.
Yeah, but you're going to see this safety, just eye discipline and peek in the backfield, and he's going to get lost.
So we'll see this replay again. There was pressure coming around the edge from Les Hall, Manual number 7. No, beg your pardon. That's the pass prior to. We'll just take our word for it.
Yes. Yeah, so they lost the wheel route come running down the sideline, wherever they lost him, once Trimble started moving and running, and next thing you know, guy's wide open, over the top of the defense.
And a touchback for the Crimsons. Okay, we think we got it now. The replay coordinator cues it up. So there's Hall coming around.
So the third progression, the over route, you get the safety jump down on it right there, and it completely leaves the wheel route deep right there. So just, not real good defensive back discipline on the back end, from Manual, unfortunately.
So Mason Trimble, a pair of touchdown passes tonight, and Manual now staring at a 2-touchdown hole as they'll commence this drive at their 20-yard line. Mack leaving it for Trainer, and Trainer perhaps a half yard as Ethan Harris, his first game of the season, injured in wrestling last year. He's going to get his first appearance tonight, and he's on the board with a tackle.
Well, I tell you what, that 3-down look they have, and then bringing Benz off the edge right there, which gives them the 4 rushers with the angle and slant. Manual's offensive linemen just aren't really stepping fast enough to get it cut off, so there's really nowhere for Trainer to go.
Braylon Miles now trotting in motion. And coming to the near side is Darion Cole, the bottom right of your screen for Manual. And Mack rolling to the left, a little crease, and Mack fighting for a couple, but still well short of a first down.
Yeah, I mean, guys running deep, but they got defensive backs running with them, the whole way, so nobody open. Good job in the pocket, stepping up, sliding over, and trying to go get a few yards without getting a negative play.
You had that one gallop of 14 yards for Mack in the preceding drive, but that's been the longest play thus far from scrimmage for Manual.
Yeah, and he kind of stuck his head in there, his body in there a little bit too, to try to get a couple more. So, obviously knowing he led him to a 4th down on the last series.
They're down and a half dozen as the Crimsons at their 25, and Mack out in the flat. Oh my, that had trouble written all over it. And I believe it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, just trying to go tunnel screen right now and give it quickly out there to the receiver, off of that. But, they're St. X is awfully aggressive right now. When you got a 2-touchdown lead, you can do that, especially when you're plugging the running game. Now I would imagine they're going to go over there and regroup and know that they got to think deep ball, and get into a deeper passing game.
Price intended for Noah Price. As Caden Barker back for St. X at his 37, awaiting Jackson Pritt's second punt. The first sailed 50. This one well short, and it's going to propel at the 48 and down at the 50.
Yeah, he got that one off the right side of his foot, so it kind of squibbed over to the right. Didn't get as much hang time and distance on that punt, but set up St. X at midfield with a 2-touchdown lead, so really puts Manual's defense, put their back against the wall.
26-yard boot for Pritz. St. X, they've had 3 drives, 2 of which have resulted in Mason Trimble touchdown passes. Two receivers, staircase style to the top of your screen. Bootleg Trimble. Plenty of time up, and he's got a target. He's going to sling it well out of the reach of Lucas Shelton, who was open at the 20.
Yeah, I like the concept, of having 2 deep over routes and watch them kind of rub off of one another right there. So the first over route coming from left to right, if he throws it now as he gets over the hash right there, he's got it right now, but had to move around a little bit in the pocket, and still try to keep his feet alive. Not bad, but, sailed that ball as his receiver tried to work with him.
Long incompletion. Clock resting at 10:22. Tigers by a pair of touchdowns. This Trimble, there's a crafty little flip pass, and Cooper Yates gobbled up for a loss back to the St. X 49-yard line.
Great job in pursuit right there. I mean, right there by the right edge, Manual. Good job of pursuing to the ball. Same rollout, sprint right, kind of shovel the ball back underneath. Okay, it worked the first time. They did it in the first quarter and got a few more yards off of it. They shut it down that time by the defensive end.
Corday Bowler on the stop, 3rd down and 11. This Manual trying to get off the field here. Trimble up in the pocket. Trimble rolling, slung down, a forward gain of about 3, but it's 4th down and 8 after a Manual tackle.
That's a great coverage, right there by Manual's defensive, especially the safeties getting outside to take care of the deep ball right now, man. Good coverage by them. Good decision by Trimble to hold down. Okay, and you're still up 2 touchdowns, so no need to force anything.
First St. X punt punt. Actually, the second punt. The first one was one of those squib punts. This will be the first traditional punt. It's lefty Logan Blinko, 6-foot senior. And Braylon Miles back, and that's a high snap, and Blinko gonna cover it up at the 19-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, the tails have turned there, man. Got Manuel set up right there at the 20-yard line going in. Immediate red zone, so see if they can capitalize on this now, okay, to cut this score down, especially going into half. Still got 9 minutes to go, so a lot of ball game left, but that really helps their offense. Hopefully the confidence comes off the sideline.
St. X center is Connor O'Dwyer. Not sure if he's the long snapper, but a miscue nonetheless. And Manuel, in essence, a turnover, if you will. This will have it at the Tigers 19. Jerry and Trainer stationed to the left of Caden Mack, and Mack rolling to his left, looking for a block, and he is denied back at the 19-yard line. Strong tackle there by Tiare Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson down. He hit him right in the face mask, too. I mean, he hit him, running full speed like that. Got the corner, got the edge, but wasn't able to put his left foot in the ground and get back north, inside of him.
That was Darion Cole out there that could not apply that block. It'll be second down and about 11. And Mack inside handoff. Here's Jerry and Trainer a few yards inside.
Early downs, they're going to have to give, they're going to have to throw a ball up or, a deeper post or, some type of fade or something to try to loosen this up a little bit, because St. X is awfully aggressive, with this two touchdown lead, and obviously they're stuffing the run at every turn here.
Third down and 8. Under 8 first half. Trips to the top of your screen. Short side handoff. It's Trainer, and he'll spin off one tackle, but not nearly enough for a first down. Making first contact is Hunt Hempsel.
Yeah, very conservative by Manuel's offensive staff, right here on third and, which was 3rd and 9. Hand it off. St. X, played defense. They played deeper, on it, okay, but still up front, they're getting beat off the ball.
Jackson Pritz is a very proficient kicker. They trust him. He's 5 of 8 on the year, well within his range, as this will be on a 36-yarder. And Pritz, a gorgeous kick. He'll split the uprights, and Manuel is on the board.
So we get a little special teams blunder by St. X, snapping the ball with their punter, sets them up, and at least get 3 points out of it right there to get on the board.
Now this from HKC Roofing on Glycod.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
14-3 St. X as Jackson Pritz connecting on a 35-yard field goal, that after a bad St. X snap. So the Crimsons, as Marty mentioned, getting something out of that drive.
Offensively, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board to figure out some quick passing game, deep throw, try to loosen things up and set up the run a little bit more.
Marlon Harbin, Caden Barker back for St. X, and a gorgeous kick again from Pritz. Wow.
That's deep. Yeah, really deep. Great leg.
Casey Huff is on the field. We will hope to have some comments from one of the head coaches walking into the locker room, but still 6:52 in the half. And if Manuel can withstand some distance, they're going to get the football to start the second half as well.
Man, you hope so, that they would be able to get them to punt, get decent field position, try to figure some things out under this offensive tent that's in front of us right here, for some calls that are good, some positive plays to come back in this next drive.
Tigers go back to work. Wyatt Graven is the back. And Graven has the call. And Wyatt Graven, is he going to go in from 80? Graven, touchdown.
Well, a great run straight up the middle. Linebacker played over the top, ran himself out of the hole. Stuck his toe in the ground just to work back just enough, hit it inside, and then had a great stick on the safety. Best part of the run right there is just setting up the safety.
Wyatt Graven, an 80-yard scamper.
I tell you what, to be able to finish that run also, man, he did a good job weaving over to the left, to stay just free enough to get to the end zone.
Field goal's not going to win this game tonight for Manual.
It'll be 4 downs from here on out.
Burt on for another point after. And St. X, razor sharp, -1 play tonight. They lead DuPont Manual 21-3, and you're watching Glycod.
You want the right agents for your real estate? Choose the Van Treese team with Semin Realtors, Louisville's oldest and largest real estate firm. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura have put their diverse and combined expertise to work in helping you buy or sell your house. Contact the Van Treese team at 502-468-1463 or visit them online at vantreeseteam.seminin.com. Semin Realtors, always one step ahead. You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
St. X on top of Manual with 6:41 in the first half. Wyatt Graven, an 80-yard touchdown rush. Gotta love those one-play drives.
Man, I tell you what, you get this point in the game and you get a field goal, feel pretty good about it, but nothing. I mean, there's a lot of time left, don't get me wrong, but that really, man, as far as momentum, that really hurts, whatever, when you think you got some positives going.
See what Manual can do on the ensuing drive, and Miles will watch that trickle into the end zone. What went wrong on this play for Manual?
So you watch right here, Kaz, you can see the linebacker work to the left. He plays over, so he had the gap back inside. So when he played over, the offensive line climbed and cut him off, which allowed that small little cutback from the running back. So everybody's got to do their job on defense. I mean, you got to play your gap. You got to control it. So, same thing offense. Everybody's got to do their job. But you run it out like that when you're playing pressure really puts that free safety in a real bad situation.
So the Crimson 6:41 in the half. They will again have the football to start the second half, so a chance to string a couple of drives together. But make no mistake, they got work to do. Mack fielding a high snap. There is Trainer, and Trainer tripped up. Gain of about 1.
Nice job for pursuit right there from the outside of St. X defense. And even the safeties, I mean, they're down so far. They're even getting involved in the run game as well. So there's got to be some play action or something hitting it over the top, hopefully. But, right there, okay, man, Bush right there at linebacker, filled immediately. And the safeties are right there to back him up, too, even if he had missed the tackle. But they're all over it.
2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Empty set here is Mack trying to set something up, rolling right. Oh my, he's going to heave it to his emergency blinker, and that ball is caught by Noah Price for no gain.
Well, they try to run a tunnel screen, from the right side back in. Offensive linemen are going to climb out to the right, to kick out, and peel and hit the backside with that. But it was covered because the corner was driving so fast, so he held it, played off of it, and then he just tried to dump. Dangerous play, but I know they got a little bit out of it, but that's really dangerous on a tunnel screen.
We'll round up. We'll say a gain of 1. It's 3rd down and 8 from the 22. As Mack, here comes the pressure, and Mack is sacked back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, nothing. You get a lead, 21-3, sitting there, and nothing allows your defense to pin their ears back than 3rd and long. So they bring the inside linebacker. I think they barely got a glove on him. So he was on Caden Mack before he could even escape.
Ben Pinkston wrapping up Caden Mack.
what they're doing with their outside linebackers, and their defensive ends, of how they're kind of teeter-tottering, which side's coming, which side's not, is really confusing Manual's offensive line up front.
Jackson Pritz punting for the third time. And this one, a high kick reminiscent of his first punt. And that ball may be interference, as the ball's going to ricochet off of a closing Manual player. So St. X will have the football.
And so he hit it first, so obviously hitting Manual's guy first, but they were running over just in case it touched a St. X player, but he whistled it dead.
So Pritz has gotten off 2 very solid punts this evening.
Yeah, nice spiral on the first one and the third one. I tell you what, he shanked the second one, but those first one and the third one were really, really pretty.
Now, we didn't see the Tigers last week versus Boyle, and certainly Mason Trimble didn't play. I think Kevin Wallace has to be very happy with his team's performance to date.
Especially the last run, breaking 80 right there and hitting it up the middle like that really gives you some confidence with a athletic defense, like Manual, even though with the pressure and they tried to get an extra body in there, but they did a good job, man, with that run, and they're kind of choosing what they want to do at this point. They even overcame the first play with a holding call. It's second or first and 20. They even overcame that.
The first down and 10, St. X. From the Manual 45-yard line. As back to throw is Trimble, and Trimble evading and slung down for a sack back at the 48-yard line. That was Deion Walker.
Yeah, it's a great job, man. Also, Stevens, their guys up front, continuing to work. I mean, they didn't take 2 or 3 steps and kind of slow down. They just kept pursuing, and get him for a loss, and a sack.
Now, I didn't see a flag on that punt, but where they marked it, it appeared as though there was a penalty called.
I'm not sure. I don't know where they actually touched it. Maybe I don't know if it's kick-catch interference or what they were. I'm not sure.
From the 48-yard line, we need Gene Steratore. Here's a little flipperation, a flea flicker. Trimble, he's looking for Shelton and a flag. Amarius Johnson of Manual will be called for that penalty.
It was such good coverage too, but until he kind of crumbled and fell, and then the trailing corner, ends up falling over the top of him. So that's very unfortunate, because it was good coverage. It's really good coverage by Manual.
It's against the Crimsons. We try to,
when you get Amarius Johnson, he's chasing it all the way across. Chases him all the way across on the over with the flea flicker. And he's trying to throw him away from him, but he stumbled, and then Johnson just kind of rolled over the top of him.
3:37 in this half. First down and 10. Tigers trying to add one more. Rolling is Mason Trimble, and Trimble brought down. He fell forward, and he's going to get a first down. That was actually second down and short.
Yeah,
I beg your pardon.
Just because of the depth of, or how far they were marking that off with the penalty, didn't give them a complete first down. But I tell you what, Wilson, who right there, man, covering that outside, covering that flat route, even though he fell forward, but he looks like he's still short.
So third down now and 1. This Manual defense been on the field an awful lot in this first half. Karsten Bush in the backfield. Rolling Trimble as he comes to the right side. He's going to fling it for Harbin, and a wonderful grab by Marlon Harbin.
That's a great job. I mean, defensive back turns his back to him, to run with him, and as soon as he does, he kind of soft back shoulders it to allow him to go up and make a 50-50 ball with it, okay, and the corner never really saw it. So, as soon as Brooks turned and ran with that fade, he kind of had him dead to rights, and letting your athlete go up and make a play. That's what it's about. You're waiting for Harbin to get his hands on the ball or affect the game offensively at some point.
Great grab by Harbin. He's been relatively quiet offensively thus far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they've thrown underneath and tried to get him going deep, which they grabbed him on the post route earlier.
His 31st catch of the year. St. X in full control. There's Cooper Davis-Yates looking for a hat trick, and Davis-Yates tripped up inside the 5-yard line.
Well, you get Bush, motioning over right there, as the H-back gets in the slot, chips up, allows him to be able to bounce that run, up and getting extra yards off of it off the edge, man. When you can set that edge like that, especially offensively, it really helps that running back's eyes when he's bouncing from inside to work back out.
So Casey Huff trying to catch up with Kevin Wallace at the half. We'll try to get that going for you. Second down and goal as Trimble rolling, slings in the end zone, and a little too high that time for Karsten Bush.
Yeah. Try to let Bush go up and make a 50-50 grab right there. He just kind of mistimed it. But, the good thing, your quarterback, Trimble, he throws it up there, so either his guy gets it or it just goes out of the back of the end zone, and you live for third down.
This very well might be 4-down territory. Certainly you may elect to go for it on 4th and goal if they get there.
Sure.
Line of scrimmage at the Manual 5-yard line. Two receivers each side. As Trimble rolling to the right, slings to the boundary, and that ball's caught for another St. X touchdown. Marlon Harbin.
Yeah, almost stacked the receivers, so the receiver on the line of scrimmage runs off the coverage, and then Harbin's going to run an angle route back underneath it, but they pin it. Guy stays inside, but great job by your athletes and just guys making football plays by bouncing outside, and that was great efficiency of where he put that ball. So accurate.
Harbin with 2 big catches on this drive, and Mason Trimble 3 touchdown passes in the first half, and St. X all over Manual with 148 in the first. They lead 28-3. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up. It's UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday on Glycod.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Mason Trimble with 3 touchdown passes in this first half, and a 28-3 St. X lead.
And they've pressured him. They've really put him under duress. Still making plays. Ankle hasn't affected him moving out of the pocket.
Cooper Davis-Yates, a pair of receptions for a score. Marlon Harbin with 1, and then, of course, that 80-yard blast on the ground by Wyatt Graven.
And if you're Manual's offense right now, this is not really what you were thinking on Tuesday and Wednesday when you were putting the game plan in. Really not one to have to settle and throw the ball, and almost get one-dimensional. But that's the aggressiveness that St. X has showed and has really put them in bad situations also. Haven't been much in the passing game.
Well, the Crimson certainly need to string a couple of good drives together now, as again they'll have the football to start the second half as well.
So you get 148. And
still got 3 timeouts.
3 timeouts? Okay.
As Caden Mack is in the shotgun. And Mack going to roll to his right, and Mack tripped up across the 25-yard line.
Pick up 7 or 8, pick up about 6 or 7, should I say. Okay, it stops the clock, but, had a guy kind of running open down the sideline. He'd had to stick it on him, right at the sideline because the safety was coming over the top, but, had somebody running free. One thing you'd like to see him do, especially in that situation, he could have set his feet and kept his eyes downfield. He didn't have to bail quite as quick as he needed to, but easy for me to say up in this booth.
1:38 now. Again, the Crimson's 3 timeouts remaining. Mack back to throw, and Mack out of the pocket, close to the line of scrimmage, and great coverage out there by Harbin, and it's incomplete.
You had Harbin and you had Townsend or whatever coming in, okay, man, to rip his hands, once the ball came through. So great job adjusting right there to a ball in the air. So that was Carroll or whatever, man, the safety, okay, that came in also to help on that play.
Third down and 5. So with the out of bounds and then the follow-up incompletion, not a lot of times going off that clock.
No, yeah, throwing the ball and then stopping it as well, stopping the clock for that too.
Jerry and Trainer in motion, empty formation for Caden Mack, and Mack this way comes Trainer. Big third down opportunity here, and Mack's going to sling it short at the stick, evading tacklers, but well short of a first down. Tackle again by Marlon Harbin.
Great job getting the ball out of your hand. He runs out of there, but, some quick passing game would definitely help getting that ball out of his hand. I think some slants or, quick out, something of that nature where he can just kind of set his foot, throw the ball, and get some rhythm going. But here you sit at 4th down and obviously try not to make it worse right away.
Kevin Wallace pausing play for St. X.
Imagine they'll come in and see if boom this. I'm not sure what they're discussing here, from the manual sideline.
That's 4th down and 4.
Okay.
St. X pause play to force a manual punt.
Yeah, he's talking to Caden Mack right now, the offensive coordinator, so I wasn't sure. I was like, that might be putting a little bit too much stress on you.
There's a bit more on St. X head coach, 3rd most active wins. We hope to hear from him in just a couple of minutes. Casey Huff is stationed on the St. X sideline, but this, of course, the final hurrah for Kevin. 40 dynamic seasons at the high school level. And very few have done it better, man.
I tell you what, he really had. I mean, coming here from Bowling Green and doing what he's done, till now, absolutely.
Jackson Pritz, we've called his name too much tonight for a punt, and this one going to gear down, and Barker watches it trickle inside the 30 and rolling forward to the 22, so an advantageous punt for Manuel.
Yeah, he got a little kick and roll off of that one too, and luckily didn't, kick it right to him or hit him on a one bouncer right there. But you're looking at St. X with a minute, to go. A couple of timeouts. I don't know how much they'll press considering the score, but the playbook is at their discretion.
So St. X 1 timeout remaining. And 3 receivers to the top of your screen. And Trimble rolling to the left. He's going to gun it. And that ball's grabbed by Marks just shy of the 30-yard line. Second catch tonight for Connor.
Well, that touchdown he gave Harbin, and then now that throw to the sideline right there, man. I mean, just really good ball placement. Really climbing the pocket like that with the ends rushing upfield, and great ball placement right there, man, to move the chains into 2nd and 4.
So 2nd down and medium here as we wind under 20 seconds. And St. X appears content to allow the clock to expire here. And what has been a very impressive first half for St. X. Tigers on top of Manual at the half, 28-3. A lot to like from a Tiger perspective.
I tell you what, I mean, if you're going to draw it up, they talked about being, aggressive defensively with their edge and how they were showing who was coming, who was not, and angling and slanting with that caused a lot of issues up front for Manual, that's for sure, who definitely wanted to establish the run with their quarterback or trainers, their running back. But, right now it's a real deep hole for Manual. But, yeah, if you're a St. X Tiger, it couldn't have gone any smoother in the first half.
We'll step aside. More coverage coming up. We hope to hear from a head coach or two coming back out of the locker room. St. X on top of DuPont Manual. 28-3 from Glycod.
A Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Visit your locally owned power equipment dealer. Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilley in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pitmasters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up.
How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue! Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, a tradition of corporate excellence and community service. For more, visit tfcfamily.com.
Back at Manual Stadium, it's halftime. St. X over the Crimsons 28-3. Chris LaBar back live with Marty Lowe, and boy, oh boy, St. X awfully impressive in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, methodical. Run it, pass it. They obviously hit a big run, but, I think in the second half they'll come out and, try to get a little more consistency, 3, 4, 5, yards on the run, maybe go show some run formations and throw out of that. But, this is what will go a long way, especially down the road.
Tigers very explosive. Did you expect that with this offense and this Manual defense?
Yeah, I just think if Trimble's healthy like that, and watching him in preseason and watching him against Trinity, I think he's an accurate thrower. I think he's efficient in his thoughts and his decisions that he makes. he's handling things in that regard. So, I felt like he would be able to handle that as long as they had a running game to go with it and didn't just become one-dimensional. So they've taken kind of some of the heat off of that with the big run they had.
Got 3 touchdown passes for Mason, and right on cue, Marty, here's the touchdown rush for Wyatt Graven from 80 yards.
Yeah, great stick right there, and then just trying to weave to the left and seeing the distance between those two. That's a great finish. Which, working through the hole, they open it for you, but to finish it like that, speed-wise, angle-wise, that's a great run by that running back.
Well, what's the plan here for Manual in the second half to try to get back? Because they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
The biggest thing is that, defensively, they're going to have to pick their poison. We either create pressure, or we're just going to have to hang back, and just try to, bend but not break. And then offensively, I just think, some short passing game, trying to at least read the box, how many numbers they have. But if they keep working the edges like that, they've got to be able to take care on a quick screen, on a bubble screen, or some type of slant, to take control of some of that stuff. But, some quick hitters to get the ball out of his hand. Something to get himself going.
Tigers lead at 28-3. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up from Manual Stadium. It's Week 8 on Glycod.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tinsley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tinsley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
When you want the right agents for your real estate, choose the Van Treese team with Semin Realtors, Louisville's oldest and largest real estate firm. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura have put their diverse and combined expertise to work in helping you buy or sell your house. Contact the Van Treese team at 502-468-1463 or visit them online at vantreeseteam.seminin.com. Seminin Realtors, always one step ahead.
This is the mower that cut the lawn, that became the place their kids grew up. The legendary Exmark Laser Z is the zero-turn mower more landscape pros trust. For cut quality, comfort, and reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life. Visit your local dealer or explore the Exmark Laser Z online for special finance offers, available now.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Back live at DuPont Manual, it's 28-3 over St. X. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up. We'll have the first half stats and some scoring summary numbers for you after this on Glycod.
Ace Hardware is more than a store, a proud community partner. They're the place for answers to your home repair or improvement questions. Mention this ad and receive a refilled propane tank for $19.99. Visit the helpful Miller's Ace folks at any of their 4 Louisville locations. Preston Highway and Gilmore Lane, St. Matthews, Taylor Boulevard, or the West End. And remember to download the Ace Hardware app for rewards when you shop.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a side of ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Let's take a look at your first half scoring summary presented by German American Bank. They've been strengthening communities since 1910. A lot of St. X scores in the first half. Mason Trimble, 3 touchdown passes. The first 2 to Cooper Davis Yates, one from 19, the second from 49. Then Manuel's Jackson Pritz connecting on a 35-yard field goal. That made it 14-3. But then 2 late St. X touchdowns in the second quarter. Wyatt Graven, an 80-yard scamper, ballooned the lead to 21-3. And then Marlon Harbin, a dynamic 8-yard touchdown reception on the boundary. And the score at the half, it's 28-3 St. X over Manuel. Again, thanks to German American Bank, great partner here on Glycod. They've been strengthening communities since 1910. Tigers on top of the Crimsons, and the Manuel Band doing a great job as always. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up live from Manuel Stadium on Glycod.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
When you want the right agents for your real estate, choose the Van Treese team with Semin Realtors, Louisville's oldest and largest real estate firm. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura have put their diverse and combined expertise to work in helping you buy or sell your house. Contact the Van Treese team at 502-468-1463 or visit them online at vantreeseteam.seminin.com. Seminin Realtors, always one step ahead.
This is the mower that cut the lawn, that became the place their kids grew up. The legendary Exmark Laser Z is the zero-turn mower more landscape pros trust. For cut quality, comfort, and reliability, Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life. Visit your local dealer or explore the Exmark Laser Z online for special finance offers, available now.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
28-3 St. X over Manual as we welcome you back. Great rendition, as always, by the Manual Band. Marty, let's talk about some adjustments, certainly for Manual. What can they do to get back in this game?
Well, good thing they get the ball first. That's the first thing. And then just trying to establish some consistency, and try to use the passing game to set up their run at least, formations, even kind of bringing people in to bring them down and then maybe throw outside. So you would definitely think, they would try to help Cade Mack, with the short passing game and try to get it out of his hand a little bit, and then, sprinkle the runs in there at that point.
We're going to check in with Casey Huff in just a moment as Casey now down on the field. Your observations in the first half, Casey?
Well, there has definitely been an energy shift down here. Like I said before the game, St. X came in quiet and calm, and the energy on their side has definitely ramped up. But on the other hand, on Manual's side, you see a lot of frustration and disappointment. During the first half, when I saw the defense come off after St. X's second touchdown, you could just clearly see disappointment and frustration in their faces, and then it continued with the offense when they went out on their next play. They just weren't able to make anything happen, and you can tell by the coaches and the players that there's clear frustration and changes that need to be made on this sideline. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you so much, Casey. What are some of those changes, Marty?
Well, as we alluded to, defensively, at least on that side of the ball, it's got to be a choice. You're either going to have to be aggressive, and try to pressure them, to get them some bad situations, maybe an interception, maybe a tip, sack that puts them behind the chains, and try to get some possessions, out of that. And then offensively, somebody's going to have to step up and make some plays. So, whether they throw up a deep ball, to try to get something to happen, or maybe a pass interference, as I've said before, the short passing game to try to get the ball out of his hand, and it doesn't mean that you have to roll him out to run every time, but, you could roll out, and put some passing concepts behind it also. But something of that nature to get some positivity, offensively to try to get these chains moving for Manual.
And Caden Mack has had one solid run outside of the pocket, picked up about 14 yards on the ground. But when the Crimson's offense are at their best, his mobility is a huge asset.
It is. You're dropping back, and, when you're doing it intentionally, it's one thing. But, almost out of desperation where you're just kind of running him out there, and if you're not getting anything out of it, there's no need banging your head against the wall. But, some zone reads, maybe some jet sweeps to where maybe Caden keeps it up the middle, where you're trying to move linebackers and get them out of position. Those are the type of misdirection things instead of just lining up and just trying to run somebody outside, in that manner. So definitely need to add some of that to the repertoire.
And the kickoff by Logan Seals and into the end zone, and Manuel will start at their 20.
See if this offense can get some energy behind Caden Mack, and at least try to get themselves and bridge this gap a little bit early.
Always great to come to DuPont Manual Stadium, such a historic facility, and this is the second game on this gorgeous field turf.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. I mean, and seeing these across the Jefferson County Public School allotment where they've set this has been really nice.
I know Fern Creek's still ongoing. I believe that's the last one due to complete this year. By the way, we'll be at Fern Creek next week as the Tigers hope to have their turf ready. They'll host Mail. But right now tonight, Manual trying to muster something first drive of the second half. And there's a handoff inside for the Crimson's, gain of about 5 up to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, motion and over, get the extra guy, to get the overhang and get him to at least back off outside the left side of the offense, and then, kind of fill in, with the run right from where he came from.
That's Jeremy Presley, his second rush of the evening. Presley just 400 yards on the ground this season as an outstanding understudy to Jerry and trainer of Manual. There's a handoff again, and the Crimson's trying to run between the tackles, and it's short of a first down.
Yeah, a little tough sledding in there, but they got numbers up top to even run a bubble screen. You got 3 receivers up to the right. You only have the corner and the safety there with the linebacker in tight that they keep showing. So, they could run some RPO stuff out there to make that outside linebacker have to choose, but, obviously, you're just trying to take advantage of displacement.
Third down and a very important 2 yards here for Manuals. They cannot afford to give up the ball again this early in the half. There's Mack on a direct run, and Caden Mack losing a couple as he's brought down back at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, getting the edge is one thing, but, that they do a decent job getting the edge, but the linebackers over the top and the outside linebacker especially filling, they're not really handling that very well. So trying to get him running the ball is a little bit of a tough job at this point.
That's Ben Pinkston. We called his name a couple of times tonight on tackles for loss. And Manual sends on Jackson Pritz to punt again after an apparent 3 and out.
Yeah, I tell you what, Herder and Pitts right now looking for MVP status for Manual at this point.
And Barker again electing to let that ball bounce in a favorable roll down at the 25-yard line.
And you get Wilson sitting there, doesn't even know where the ball is at. He's lucky that didn't hit him in the foot or something like that to give him a chance to recover it. Manual chance to recover it.
54-yard punt. Pritz having a great night. That's 2 exceeding 50 yards.
Yeah, really pretty punts on her, man. I mean, regardless of the kick and roll, he's really getting some distance out there on him as well.
So Mason Trimble leading this St. X offense. 5 touchdown passes coming into the game. He's got 3 tonight. Now 30 through a career that has spanned some 3 years as a starter. And a high snap. Trimble finding Cooper Davis-Yates, and Davis-Yates will tumble forward through contact for a couple tackle on the outside by Darian Allen.
I tell you what, with the wide split St. X using, with their 2 wide receivers out here, really moving the corner, the outside, really the nickel, and the safety out of the back, and then motioning a guy inside as an extra blocker. If he'd have kept that front side, it would have been a much stronger run. Many more yards out of that too, but schematically they definitely would have an extra person.
Second down and 8 after a 2-yard advancement for Davis-Yates. He's having a night as well. And Trimble finding Davis-Yates. Nice cutback run, good vision, and lunging close to a first down.
In the bubble, where the linebacker and the, defensive lineman, so, that ball ended up working right back there to where the opening is or, should be from the displacement of the defensive, from the linebackers and everything too. So good patience, by the running back, hitting it in there and then kind of bouncing it back to the right.
It's going to be enough for a first down. District opener for both these teams, and the ramifications runneth deep for the winner in this game. Manual leading in the RPI, at least in this matchup. Manual, the second RPI in 6A coming in. St. X at number 7. And there is Lucas Shelton on the grab. Or is it? Beg your pardon. So it's going to be a completion.
Yeah, completion there. But, they see blitz coming, so they look to the sidelines. A good adjustment by the coaches. Quick slant, ball comes out of his hand, definitely taking advantage of that pressure.
It's a second down and a short 3. Shelton on the advancement as Mason Trimble spreading the ball around tonight at quarterback. There's Davis Yates, foot in the ground, and a first down as he's tripped up at the Manual 47.
Great job working with his linemen too, as they start to really kind of gather on the zone blocks, getting their feet and their hands on the defensive lineman and the linebacker, and he's able to find that window in the hole to work through to get to the second level. So great job of the timing, of pressing that hole.
Manual going to sub out a defensive end. That's Deion Walker trotting off the field.
And you like the patience of St. X's offense, just really calling it from the sideline.
Tigers have been in control throughout. There's a slant. Great pass from Trimble. And it's Marlon Harbin, and they're going to blow that dead. Apparently his knee on the ground at the 41.
Yeah, he did. He went down to go get it. But good job. I mean, they're bringing that outside linebacker and working him in tight to the box to play run. So they just go 3 hitches out, 5 yards, and turn around by 3 guys, and he just picks the open one, reads it from inside out. Good choice.
It'll be a gain of 6. Harbin over 3,000 all-purpose yards now for St. X as second down and 4 from the Tigers and a flag. Be on the Tigers, so second down and 9.
St. X not in a big hurry. They just continue to the coaches in the box looking down at Manual's defense to see how many they got in the box that lined up, and they make the call accordingly.
This is the Tigers team coming in to this game. Losers of 3 straight. And it does not happen very often in that historic program. 3 receivers at the bottom, and Trimble backpedaling, rolling, and he's going to nudge it for a forced incompletion.
That's a great job. I mean, peeling right there, coming out of that right there by Allen, from Manual. Great job seeing it. It's a screen. They're manned up over here, which, you got somebody that's going to man up the back also. So whether the offensive lineman gets to block him or not depends on whether that gets free. Not a bad call versus the look, but, offensive lineman definitely didn't pick up that guy.
So the Crimson's crowd, the faithful, trying to ignite this defense to get off the field at third down and 9. St. X has connected on 2 first downs already on this drive. They've got it third down and long. Trimble, plenty of time, steers it across. There's a flag on the play as Shelton brings it in up to the 14-yard line, but a flag back in the backfield.
Yeah, they catch it. Looked like got him for holding. Yeah, he just kind of bear hugged him. Left tackle kind of bear hugged him coming around. Great job, though, stepping up in the pocket and hitting the end cut, coming right across the middle.
Third down and 19. Is that number 7 that might be held there?
Not sure.
Manual edge. So now you're looking at third down and 19. That's a Les Hall trotting off the field for the Crimsons just underneath us.
You know, they're playing man underneath, you know, and then they got the free safety over the top on the last one. Now they're going to play 2 safeties deep with long yardage, but great job looking off the free safety last play.
3 to the top as rolling is Trimble, and he's going to heave it out of bounds again for an incomplete pass.
So Manual forces long yardage there. You know, you get the penalty, the holding. You know, they get the turnover right here, okay, and forcing the punt.
At what point does Manual start putting the ball up in the air, Marty?
Yeah, it has to be now. I mean, if you're looking to squeeze this gap, you know, as fast as you need to with only 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, you know, you don't have all day. You know, so right now, you know, spreading everybody out and trying to get your athletes in space. You know, getting the ball out of his hand right now. Give him an outlet, send one deep, one middle, let him choose.
On to punt for second time is Logan Blanco, and that one a spiraling, hooking kick back, fielded by Braylon Miles. And no, it's not Miles, it's Wilson. It's Damari Wilson, and Wilson going to scoot out just across the 25-yard line.
Well, a nice job pressing the left hash and reversing field, catching them in the angles over the top, you know, trying to cut him off to the left sideline. He did a great job, man, putting his toe in the ground and then working all the way back to the right. You know, leave balls outside the 20. See if their offense, you know, can get some positive plays going right now. But, you know, this is the point where you spread it out and just try to pick. Try to loosen them up.
Well, it's now or never for Manual.
It really is.
Only been able to muster a 35-yard field goal in this game. That was in the middle part of the second quarter. Crimsons have not turned the ball over. They've been unable to stop St. X for much of the evening as Mack on 1st and 10 across the middle. There's a complete pass, and that ball is caught by Noah Price up to the 42.
You know, you got 4 linebackers, so you got an outside linebacker over there to the right, so running a 10-yard in cut's going to be better for him than a 10-yard out. So great job him setting his feet and letting that ball go, man. What a positive play for that offense right now.
Coming into the game for the Crimsons, both Noah Price and Braylon Miles each with 18 catches. This is a very balanced passing game for the Crimsons, and they needed that one there. There's a delayed handoff to Jerian Trainer. He's going to bounce it and spring it, and there is Jerian Trainer down the hill. And a 59-yard touchdown.
Well, that was a great run, but I mean, Townsend, number 2, chasing him, man. There was some wheels. There was some wheels chasing right there. That was 2 fast football players, you know, going at it right there to get that touchdown. So you get a big pass, you know, over the middle on the 10-yard in cut. You know, next thing you know, St. X plays loose on defense, and then you bust a run, you know, right there. So great job for Manual on senior night, you know, right here to kind of cut this lead a little bit.
Oh, the Crimsons badly needed that one. Jackson Pritz on for the point after. He's 27 of 29 on the year. And Pritz able to steer that through.
He has been nothing but consistent in everything he's done tonight, man. So you know, rarely do we sit here and rave about the kicker and the punter this much, but I tell you what, man, he's done a really good job tonight for them.
28-10 St. X. Now this from Red Ball Recycling on Glycod.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
59-yard touchdown blast by Manual's Jerian Trainer. His 34th career touchdown. His 9th this year, and boy, did Manual need that.
Man, I'm still impressed by the separation. I mean, once he realized he was getting through the first level, just the separation and the speed, and then just watching the foot race, you know, to the side or to the end zone. That's fun to watch there, man. But yeah, it couldn't happen at a better time for Manual.
Jackson Pritz powering that in the end zone as we take one more look at Trainer's touchdown run. What made this play so successful?
You know, right there, the edge, okay, if I'm not mistaken, or man, they kicked that out right there. Yeah, so they kicked the end out and he's able to get back up inside of that. Because if he has to run the hump, the backers may get over the top and cut him off. But to be able to get that C gap right now, and then if the defensive backs don't take the right angle, then a guy with that type of speed, I mean, it's to the house.
Let's see what the Crimson's defense can do here. As St. X at their 20-yard line. Only 2 Tigers punts tonight. Blinko has booted it twice. There was a high snap on a third attempt as Cooper Davis-Yates slithers through the hole. A gain of about 3 to the 23.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea right there. But I tell you, they've been doubling Harbin a little bit, which you haven't really heard from them much. So safety over the top, or if he's by himself, they'll play a little inside out, with the outside linebacker in the corner, to double him so he can't get loose. But it has opened up other people, but that allows them, to be able to blitz and put a little more pressure in the box on Mason Trimble.
Trimble keeps it this time across the middle, looking for Harbin, and incomplete. It hit his hands despite the coverage by Xavier Brooks.
I tell you what, Brooks coming over at the right time and raking the hands, great job. I mean, that's good coaching, good job by that athlete. But coming over at the right time where you don't interfere with him too, but going after his hands, instead of trying to tackle the body or interfering.
So now you've got 3rd down and long, and Manuel trying to force a 3 and out.
They can hold up on the edges like this, and not let anybody get wiggle free for a deep throw.
And Manuel a little bit out of sorts there as had players moving in all directions, and the Crimson's forced to burn a timeout.
Well, it's a big 3rd and 7 right here. Huge 3rd and 7 for Manuel's defense. Hopefully be able to force this, get that punt, get the ball back while you got some positivity on offense especially.
Crimson's defensive coordinator Marcellus English. This is a team that has really blossomed at times this year. +5 on turnovers, and boy, they could use one right now.
They really could. It would come just like that touchdown. Couldn't come at a better time. But like I said, I mean, either creating pressure and saying, look, we've got to hold up on the outside with our DBs, or we're just going to have to sit back, and play pass defense and sit back. But, I'd definitely rather create it, especially when the score has been able to try to create pressure. Maybe create a turnover in doing so. At least some negative plays.
Two receivers each side. As Trimble gets a 3-man rush across the middle. Great throw and catch, and it's Caden Barker, and Barker still loose across the 20, and Barker out at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, they had a mismatch, with Wilson. Walked him out as kind of, defensive back. He's in the middle of the field, so, he's got to cover corner route and post. And without any help, because Trimble is looking the safety off. Great job getting the ball at him, hit him right on, dead on right there with that safety. Gives him a little stick to the corner, and then he's gone. That's just hitting him right on stride versus man coverage.
63 yards.
It's tough for those safeties to cover in the middle of the field like that, from that type of depth.
And Trimble putting that right on Barker. Inside the red zone, it's Cooper Davis-Yates, foot in the ground, and Davis-Yates a couple of yards as he'll penetrate the 10.
Yeah, man, that's good. Manuel's defense. I mean, you get a full 3-4 bodies, at the ball right now. So, still pursuing to it right there. So, they gave up 3 or 4, but, they're still pursuing.
Well, that was a back-breaking play.
It hurts when they're, man, on 3rd and long like that. And that's what I said, those safeties, they're not built for man coverage. They're built for zone, coming up and playing run. So that's really asking a lot, in a zero coverage type situation.
Got Lucas Shelton there, bottom right of your screen. Marlon Harbin to his left in the slot. 2nd down and 7. Graven already a lengthy touchdown run. He'll evade one tackle and be brought down after a gain of about 1.
Yeah, that's up front where, man, they're pursuing hard. So, you see Stevens getting to the ball, right there, them getting him on the ground, back to 3rd down. So if we can hold up long enough for those guys up front, man, to push the pocket. And you'd like to see maybe one of those guys get a tip, get a tip back, and maybe one of those safeties or somebody sitting back, picks one off. But Manuel trying to create some type of turnover, negative play.
There's Karsten Bush. He'll be now lined up as well with that pink glove, that pink wristband on third down as Trimble rolling, facing pressure and blasted from behind. It's Darian Allen.
Yeah, Allen, man, you talking about a redirection from a defensive lineman to rush upfield, stick your toe in the ground, come right back downhill while he's trying to spin and turn, okay, and catching him right in the shoulder pads. Great hit and good pursuit. Get upfield, get back downfield, and then there you are. Nice job.
Line of scrimmage at the 7. It's 4th down and about 5, and St. X going to take the points.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a victory in my opinion for Manuel, but I know it's still points, but still a victory after that third round backbreaker a minute ago.
Logan Seals, 6 of 8 on field goals this year, and it's blocked! And that ball is blocked, and Manuel with the defensive stand.
Well, I tell you what, look, and you just like him coming off field, got some energy right now from Manuel's sideline. Field goal block team, came up with not allowing St. X any points right there. Let's see if their offense can capitalize from what they did last series.
You had about 3 Crimson's players charging hard towards Seals.
Yeah, that full right side, wherever. There was pressure immediately.
So 1st down and 10. That's the good news. The bad news for Manuel, they're back inside their 1 yard line.
Yeah, looking at the score the way it is, I don't know about sitting on it right here. I may have to hit the gas right here. If I'm out to win, I may have to hit the gas with a short pass right here, or at least a 1st down deep ball if a corner's playing tight enough.
Second time Manuel's been backed up inside their 1. It was their first drive at the other end of the field where they began a drive.
You might get a jet sweep right here coming from right to left with Trainer. They can set this edge.
St. X defense coordinated by longtime Tiger staff member Bart Bruner. I'd say his guys can have their ears pinned back here.
Absolutely.
Not sure why we have a delay over there.
They try the jet sweep 90 tut right here. This right defensive end for St. X. If he gets upfield and outside, it's going to be tough for that left tackle to try to reach him if that's what they're going to try.
Oh boy, we got flag.
Ooh, that's tough, man. That's what they did, okay, when they were backed up, in the first quarter, jumping off right away. So
again, no decimals, no fractions on our software.
I know. We can't go the full yard.
We'll keep it at 1st down and 10 from the half-yard line, if you will, for DuPont Manuel. Latter stages of the third quarter as the Crimsons trying to claw their way back in this game. And Mack with the snap. There's Jerry and Trainer out a little bit as he'll power forward just shy of the 10.
That's a strong run by him too. The good thing, their offensive linemen, they're getting those first 2 steps on the ground and getting their hands on those defensive linemen as quick as they can, and then letting him take care of that first little burst coming through, to get, 4, 5, 6 yards. So, if they can just get their hands on it, they don't get beat right away. That Trainer right there, that's a good running back that can hit it quick.
Gain of about 6, so 2nd down and 4. Trainer again, cut back, and he'll lunge forward. The Bethune-Cookman commit, just shy of a 1st down.
A little bit short right here, okay, and obviously the clock's still rolling.
Oh, going to give him a 1st down.
Oh,
okay.
Did they? Okay, moved them. Those should end possibly in the third quarter here. May get one more in.
Still a 3-score game. It was 28-3 at half. Manuel able to get on the board. A Jerian Trainer lengthy touchdown run. And the Crimsons in the remnants of this quarter as they try to run another play. And Mack rolling. I'm not sure if that was a design play or just a busted play.
You know, it's a pass, but I mean, they got for a little extra curricular activity. You know, it should have been a penalty to start because they shifted, you know, while they were motioning. So you had illegal motion anyway, but they didn't call it. So not sure what they're going to come up with here.
Let's take a look at, again, a lot going on that last play.
Yeah, a little extracurricular activity by St. X. That's 15.
Well, Kevin Wallace not going to like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in this situation, I mean, you think, you know, you got them backed up like that, man. You need to slam the door shut on them right there.
Be right back. And end it. Fourth quarter coming up from Glycod.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more durability, versatility, and #1 rated reliability built in. Like Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut. And the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Anderson Sales and Service in Madison, Crestwood, and Louisville.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Leslie Gilly in Crestwood today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
After the 15-yard penalty, Manuel will have possession across the 20 to start this fourth quarter as Caden Mack rolling to the near side, trying to squeeze up the near side, and he'll scamper across the 30. Is there a flag on the far side of the field?
No, I'm looking at Trainer or whatever, have his hands up because he was running a drag route on that, okay, and he's wide open, you know, running out of it. So, okay, I didn't see it.
So a 10-yard setback on the Manuel hold.
You know, and that's tough because Caden Mack, you know, not setting his feet, and he's taking off right away without even looking, you know, through his progressions, which, you know, taking off like that puts your offensive lineman in a heck of a situation.
And the Crimsons now retreating back to their 14-yard line. As Mack high snap fields that one, and Mack finding a seam. And how about that run? Just shy of the 30.
You know, that's a bad snap right there, you know, which he catches, you know, corrals it, and then just makes the best he can out of it.
We've seen a few of those tonight from David Pillman.
Yeah, and it depending on which way the center goes. I mean, if he's setting to the left, a lot of times the ball will spray over to the right. So, you know, it's just a matter of him trying to make that adjustment by not, you know, breaking his wrist when he's snapping it like that, keeping it solid.
Now, is that a conversation that's ongoing in the huddle after you field one of those snaps? There's Trainer to the near side and short, well short of a first down.
Absolutely, to let him know, you know, where it's going in series. And then obviously when you get to the sideline, you know, you kind of get off to the side and try to work on it. But golly, with somebody in your face, you know, that's a little bit different during a series.
Third down and 7. Crimson's been relatively quiet in the passing game tonight. We've had a couple catches for Noah Price, but Latarian Spencer, their great tight end, a couple of targets, no catches thus far on a must third down for Manuel. Here's Mack, four-man rush, slings it to the near side, intended for Noah Price, batted away and incomplete. That was Valen Okuma.
Yeah, I tell you what, so, you know, he throws the out route back to the right, but he's looking to the field to the left, and, you know, the timing of that, okay, you're not going to be able to throw that out, so he's late, so which gives the corner time to be able to break on it right there. You see, giving him all that time to come downhill with that. I mean, he was already looking up to the left. You've got to stay with that or just throw it back, you know, into the boundary like that and take it now.
So much begrudgingly, Manuel will send on their punting unit. Jackson Pritz on again. And Pritz, oh my, off the side of his foot. And that's shanked to the right. It does propel forward a little bit into Tigers territory at the 45-yard line.
We got a few out of it, man, on the kick, but definitely, come off the side of that foot like his second punt did.
Be 27-yard punt. And now St. X possession at the 48-yard line. Take a look at Manual's upcoming schedule. A pair of district matchups on the road the next 2 weeks. Then they'll host Mail before what likely will be, well, you'd think would be a home playoff game. Still a lot of real estate ahead. So first down and 10 with 3 receivers to the top. And Mason Trimble played beautifully after a week absence, and he'll sling a slant, and Lucas Shelton with a catch and shimmy across the 43 to the 42-yard line.
So that's a misalignment there. You had the outside linebacker, the nickel, extra DB they have in there, came over to the right side, but they have trips over the right, so they're trying to direct him to get over there. Mason Trimble says it, and throws it hot right now because he's uncovered. Good heady play between that receiver and Mason.
Got an official stop. An injured Manual student athlete will step aside. You're watching UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday on Glycod.
You cannot depend on Beth to choose the best meal to go.
Is that soup? No, thank you.
But you can always depend on her car starting because she has an Interstate battery, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
Got an injured Manual player at the 46-yard line. St. X, if you just joined us, been in full control of this game as they lead Manual 28-10. It's Damari Wilson, the injured Manual student-athlete.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he was the one that was out of position, that was trying to run from the right side of the defense over to the left to go cover the first receiver inside, and then end up caught in the wash.
From the Manual 43-yard line. Trimble back to throw, facing serious pressure, and he's going to uncork another incompletion.
Yeah, I give Manual credit on that. I mean, they walk up, whatever man, basically go cover one where everybody's playing man, one safety deep, bring 5, to try to put pressure, and those ends are getting up. It's like when they called that defense, the ends know, okay, man, it's going to be 5-man pressure. They lay their ears back and go. They're beating those tackles right now.
Second down and 10 after the incompletion as the clock resting at 10:40. And Trimble surveying his options, and he's going to sling it right between heavily contested Crimsons for a catch to Marlon Harbin to the 25-yard line.
Great job by Harbin working the sideline and then just bouncing back inside. Trimble plays it patient, as he escapes and gives him a nice little throw, on the numbers.
And you could see Trimble initiating eye contact, trying to signal his star receiver.
Yeah, just waiting where he's going to slide outside or inside.
Up to the 25-yard line. Another chunk play for St. X. Nearing the 10-minute mark of this fourth quarter. And Trimble again guns it across, incomplete as Harbin blanketed once again over there by Xavier Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks did a good job right there too. I mean, he did a good job competing right there, obviously with athlete on athlete there, coming across the middle and playing through his hip, and did a good job, breaking that ball up clean.
Really impressed with the velocity that Trimble has. He can zip it in tight windows.
I tell you what, even, on the move as well, even, stepping up in the pocket with momentum is one thing, but, running out right to left and still being able to put heat on it, absolutely.
From the 25 is X trying to add some to their tally. Trimble going to keep it, and he's going to zing it for a forced incompletion right between Caden Barker and the closing corner, Latarian Spencer.
Second down call right there, so whether he gets out of there and, a great decision, just to deal it out of bounds, just throw it away, keep your offense positive, so great decisions by that kid right there in that situation. A lot of people try to force it in there. Maybe it bounces up and they intercept it, but, just throw it away and live for the next down.
Yeah, the Crimson's able to avert a score from X on the last drive. Will they be able to do the same the second time? As Trimble on 3rd down and long. Here comes the pressure, and it's incomplete pass on 4th down. Coming up is Lucas Shelton, the intended target.
Excellent job pushing the middle of the pocket there also, man, of forcing the overthrow. He tried to step up into it, but didn't really get his feet under it. But you get that push up the middle like that, that makes it tough, whatever, man, trying to put that puts power on the ball.
Logan Seals on for a 42-yard attempted field goal. This would be a season long. It was 41 prior to. Trying to add 3 to the St. X lead, and blocked again. And the Crimsons with their second field goal block, and this one is live as Manuel coming to the near side. And still on his feet is Latarian Spencer. And Spencer across the 35.
You just said you were wondering when he's going to show up because he had targets and all that. Next thing you know, the ball ends up in his hands. And I know everybody in the stands are like, man, what are you doing? Good grace, because he looked like he was going backwards. But, man, what a great run and a great time of the game, too. Oh, that was a great run.
Let's take a look at this from conception, if you will. You got the block.
That right side, man, the defense is tough.
And here comes Spencer. And if he evaded that one tackle, things could have gotten interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get back to the hash, for goodness sakes. He was rolling.
So Manuel now possessing it at their 37. There's Caden Mack. Rolling Mack. What's he going to do with it? Oh, and Mack, a gain of 1 after all that running.
Yeah, so you run 50 yards to get 1 yard. But, and that's the thing, he's getting more experience and on into his years of playing quarterback, and if he keeps his eyes up, the corner drives upfield. If he just flips it over the top of that, there's no one over there.
And his big lineman in the way, that was really an obstruction as Mack was trying to weave around him. Back to action as Mack pitches to the near side, and it's caught! And it's caught for Noah Price, and Price stumbling down inside the 20.
That is stumbling and lumbering right there by 16. Good run after the catch, man. I tell you what, he's doing as much as he could with that athletic ability right there. Great job by him. That corner just got out of there. Safety was late getting there also, to try to cover that corner route.
And Price down. They're going to mark this very close to the 15-yard line. 46-yard advancement for DuPont Manuel. There's Jerry and Trainer, and he'll power forward just shy of the 15.
You get a big throw like that, man, you think you got the run set up and loosen them up, which they did. That's how he popped that touchdown a little while ago, so not a bad call right there in the red zone, but they got to keep attacking. This clock is still running.
Manuel had to burn a timeout on the preceding defensive drive. 2nd down and long is Mack rolling. Mack slings it in the end zone. Touchdown! Braylon Miles.
That is exactly what I was talking about a minute ago. He keeps his eyes up. He's still moving to his right. His eyes stay downfield. He sees a great athlete coming off on that little whip route right there on the goal line. Touchdown. Great job by Mack right there on that. Right there with the eyes still upfield, ball out. He was looking for Trainer on the wheel route on the outside, and they covered him, so his eyes came back inside. Excellent.
Jackson Pritz on for the point after. And Manuel trying to make things interesting. And the kick is up and true. 28-17, St. X. 8:12 left. You're watching UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday on Glycod.
Folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.
(28-17).
New life for the Crimsons. So, man, it'd be interesting now. Do we defensively, do we pressure? Do we sit back and try to see what happens on first down? But they've had a pretty good little recipe the last few drives.
So the Crimsons 14 points in succession. But what do they do defensively to try to get the ball back?
That's I would continue with her, man, to just kind of crowd the box like that. And you've got to, I mean, you know, we're still sitting here at 11 points, you know, so thinking, you know, goodness, we need to keep people in the box like that to put pressure on them like they've been doing.
And Pritz, how about that onside kick? And there's a flag.
Oh, my God.
Crimson's offsides, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so. I think he just got out a little bit too soon, but I think he had him, though. Shoo. They would have covered. If they would have recovered that one, I'm definitely talking Jackson Pritt up for MVP there. I'll tell you what, now he's onside kicking it, catching them off guard.
Well, that was a live ticket there at the near sideline. That ball was loose.
And I was thinking right before that, too, you know, do you press that envelope also to where you try to gain a possession here? But the cat's out of the bag now. I think he still reaches the end zone on this boot.
And Pritz, this time he'll kick it true, and a high spiraling kick into the end zone. So St. X will be perched at the manual 20 with 8 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. And Braylon Miles, a much-needed Crimson score.
He does such a good job being active, coming off of the defender also to get himself free and separate.
Well, you wonder how St. X, you know, what do they do here in this drive?
You know, if I'm their offensive coordinator, I'm playing ball. I'm calling, you know, just like I did in the beginning of the game or everything. You don't want to sit on anything. I mean, they've obviously cut the gap and 2 field goals that got blocked, so I'm putting it on my offense right now.
Special teams keeping Manuel in this game. Here's Cooper Davis Yates trying to squirm through the hole, and he'll pick up about 5 yards up to the 25-yard line.
Good first down call. You know, you got to lead back. And there, you know, just picking the block, you know, picking which way I'm going to go off of the block leading up through there. Fresh defensive lineman for Manuel coming in the game.
Elijah Wilkins trots on. 5'11", 305-pound junior, number 56. And play clock, there is a play clock in each end zone, although it's not operating. So play clock being kept on the field as Davis Yates again. And how about Wilkins fresh in the game, and he's clogging the hole.
As he did. Sending it to another crucial third down. You know, now we try to bring 5, I would think. You know, try to man up, keep a safety over the top, you know, just because there's still a lot of green left before the goal line. But definitely been able to hold up on the outside.
Credit the Manual fans beneath us. They are just imploring the defense. Such positive energy. Come on, D. I'm sure you can hear them at home.
Yeah. They took Wilson out of the game, you know, for Manuel to slot that was covering that got beat earlier.
Trimble in the gun against heavy pressure. Great swing pass. First down is Davis Yates. Wonderfully orchestrated play. He'll pick up 9 up to the 34-yard line.
So what makes that play so good is if they man up, and then the guy that's responsible for the back gets lost in the wash inside. They swing him out there, no protection responsibilities and nobody to cover him. The guy that's responsible for him is on the other side right there, and he's lost.
A critical third down pickup, and that's going to buy and evaporate some more time off the clock as we tiptoe under 6 minutes, 18 seconds. Tigers trying to break a 3-game losing streak overall and a 2-game losing string in this series. 2 receivers to the near side, ball in the belly of Davis Yates, and Wilkins there to swallow him up for no gain.
Yeah, they're handling that run game. That's a great job of that front 4, actually front 3 that you got right there, and then the extra linebacker that adds on with that. That's a good job filling by the entire unit.
Now 2 manual block field goals that have been critical in this game. Also a muffed punt on a snap for St. X. Special teams has favored Manual tonight, but this X offense has been razor sharp most of the evening.
Absolutely, and I bet they're not going to pull the field goal team out there, even if they get in the red zone.
2 receivers to the near side as Trimble finding Davis Yates.
Second down, conservative call. Only gave up a couple, which leads to another crucial third down, so up front with Manual, they're doing a heck of a job right there. Keeping corralling that run game.
There's Keith Eckloff right beneath us. You can see him there marching at the 40-yard line. And he has, in 2 years, really built this Crimson's program. But as you heard in our pregame conversation, he's worried about the playoffs. And it's been a while since they've had a lengthy run. And it looked like they might have the makeup this year to make that long gaunt.
Yeah, I mean, they, obviously offensively, figuring out, who they are, what can they do, and, working those little kinks out of it. But defensively, I mean, with what they're doing up front and even trusting their corners, their outside guys to hold up in man coverage versus some good athletes there from St. X, that's for sure. So they're doing their job, allowing them to get pressure up the field, in the passing game. And, they're clogging all the run lanes as well, too, and sprinkling a few bodies. They got just enough depth, too, with, only using 3 defensive linemen. So definitely done. He said he doesn't have a whole lot of people on the roster, or as many as most, but he's definitely got it going in the right direction.
3rd down and 7. Crimson's only with 1 timeout remaining. Is this perhaps a must defensive stop for Manual?
Yes, you feel that way for sure, because the clock and the timeouts are going to start getting used.
Marlon Harbin in motion. Trimble back to throw. And that ball is caught. Tackle broken. Cooper Davis Yates, a big first down up to the 50-yard line.
That's huge again. I mean, going to the running back, man coverage. They actually have somebody for him this time, but, they got to get him on the ground. That is the only thing standing within them in 4th down.
It looked like Latarian Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer had been just trying to get him on the ground. I mean, you had the greatest call offensively or defensively, but not executing like that, especially late in the game now too, where tackling sometimes becomes an issue, especially in space.
So the clock going to continue to run now. It's Davis Yates again, powering through the hole across the 50.
And you can almost feel the, kind of being deflated on that too, man, from that first down, leading to that play right there that weren't clogging it quite as well in the run game.
Nearing the 4-minute mark. Again, Manual only 1 timeout remaining.
Manual defense, they played a lot of plays, but they've stepped up the last few drives for sure, and put them in the right situation to be successful. But like I said, that last play, not getting him on the ground, that's tough.
Davis Yates again. This time he's going to trip over that turf monster.
Got him. Right there, come off the M. I saw it come up out of the ground. Got him on the ground at least, So here we are, 3rd down again. And, obviously they'll work 2 downs into this for sure.
Manual 1 timeout remaining as St. X trying to perhaps put this away with 1 more first down.
And I'm telling those defensive linemen, those linebackers to rip that ball out, okay, as soon as they make contact. Try to punch it out or rip it out.
Davis Yates, and hit play is blown up. Coming through is the Manual defender, Devin Allen.
Yeah. Allen hit that gap, from the backside B gap, untouched right there, and hit him, frontside B gap, when I hit him right in the mouth. That's usually a turnover. When you get to the mesh point, between running back and quarterback on time, that's usually where you get a turnover right there.
Devin Allen is 4th and a half tackle for a loss on the season. And St. X now 4th down and about 7.
And you felt like those last 2 third downs, just up front, you can see them, cranking their gears, they got off the ball, got their hands on those offensive linemen, left a gap to run through, and just exploded through him. So long yardage here, a little bit longer for this 4th down. So we'll see if they can get pressure. Okay, so they're going to punt it.
Logan Blinko on to punt. Damari Wilson and Braylon Miles back for Manual to return. So St. X electing to play field position.
Yeah, so pressure, though. Pressure coming right now on this, man. Just I almost feel like, they're spreading them out right there so they can only bring so many people, too. I'd try to go after this one.
Good snap to Blinko, and this one high, end over end. Miles watches it bounce into the end zone. Take a look at the St. X schedule. Their remaining games. North Hardin and PRP. Then an interesting matchup on Halloween versus a solid Madison Central team. Coached by William Blair. Madison Central right now also on Glycod, tangling with Douglas. That game is tied. They're rather close in the second half, we're told. So again, Manual, no timeouts. They need a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion and a field goal. Jerry and Trainer in the backfield as Mack back to throw. Caden Mack rolling, and Mack's going to keep it himself. And some precious time off the clock.
Yeah, like I said, if he steps up, same thing he did down there on the touchdown, keeps his eyes up. He's got a 10-yard curl right in front of him, but, he's obviously got to make positive plays.
Empty set Mack again, rolling right. He's going to run again. Going to be short of a first down by, no, he won't. First down.
Yeah, moving the chains at least, but, you had Trainer once again on that drag route, same play they had earlier right there that they end up calling the penalty on it, but he could have hit it to him right there, 4 steps into the route, just give it to him and let your athlete go catch and run.
From the 30, 2 receivers at the top, 1 on the bottom as Caden Mack in the gun. Oh no, Mack sacked back at the 18-yard line. It's Craig Bird.
Yeah, that was 4 push straight up. The middle, they closed that down. There was nowhere to step up to or anywhere to go on that one. So, it was almost try to get skinny and get through or just eat it like he had to do. Definitely not what you want to do in this situation.
Loss of 10. Under 2 minutes now. As Mack on 2nd and 20. And Mack going to dart to the near side, out to the 35. He got back to the initial line of scrimmage and then some.
And that's good. To set up the next play, at least you're kind of within range. You have 2 downs, don't get me wrong, but, 3rd and medium's a is definitely achievable, that's going to deal with the clock here at 1:46.
Letarian Spencer at the top of your screen for DuPont Manual. Mack, 4-man rush for St. X, and Mack going to heave it. And that's a wounded Quail. That is intercepted. For St. X, it's Jamari Carroll.
Yeah, so not really sure, regardless of pressure of what he's looking at there. I mean, you have two safeties that are deeper than the post you're throwing, so definitely would like to see him come off of that, and throw the intermediate throw. That would be his second progression, but I understand the running and the getting hit and kind of running for your life like that, man. It makes it a lot tougher. But, he didn't get hit on that either.
A flag, I believe that's well after
yeah.
The interception. That's St. X's first takeaway of the evening. And it will be against the Tigers post turnover.
Delay game on the Tigers. We had 5-yard penalty.
So St. X is going to come into Manual Stadium and get their 4th win of the season after a couple of kneel downs.
Yeah, and then, they break a 2-game losing streak also there to Manual also. So, that's part of it too, to where you lose 2 in a row and come into their stadium on their new turf and get a W.
2 really solid football teams, but St. X, the better one of those 2 tonight, especially in the first half.
Definitely tonight. I mean, I'd probably like to see them run the ball a little more consistently and getting yards out of it as they should, but their passing game and their quarterback they have, the decisions he's made and that I've seen him make, in a few other games that I've watched, has been really solid. Defense causes a lot of issues, man, what they do out of their 3-4 as well.
Stay tuned for our post-game report. We'll update the score ticker. We'll have our most outstanding players presented by State Farm Insurance agent Mike Shelton and a look ahead to Week 9. But St. X winning Kentucky's premier game in Week 8. And I would hate to think there's a better 4-win football team in the Commonwealth than these guys.
And that's what they do. I mean, years with, Trinity and them, and, even males playing some teams out of state and, going to find competition as well, other than just playing your normal schedule. So it really helps this time of year. I mean, to where you've kind of seasoned, you've kind of been through it. And
Casey Huff is on the field. We try to get some comments from head coach Wallace as Manual going to fall tonight to St. X 28-17. 2 great programs, 2 tremendous programs. We'll meet at the 50. And Marty, I think this score is going to maybe open some eyes as people see the outcome in this game for St. X to win at Manual.
Yeah, I mean, being 5-1 and, over the years and stuff too, I don't, it's a tough matchup. You got athletes on both sides and stuff too. So, I don't know about the score, especially early, but, the way Manual came back, and they blocked 2 field goals, got some scores, try to get themselves back in the game. They had 3rd downs where they could make, to make something happen and even force another punt, so they had opportunities to do it. It's just offensively, the consistency just really makes it tough for your defense, especially when they play that many plays.
A lot of media there, as you see down on the field. Casey at the 45-yard line. We hope to get a few comments from head coach Wallace, and I think he's got to be very pleased with his team's play because they needed this game tonight.
They did. I mean, for a lot of reasons. I mean, losing 3 and then your quarterback comes back, you get that continuity and consistency, and, I mean, you can hear it. And, I mean, it's Manual's senior night as well, but, everybody's playing for something.
And for Manual, what are they playing for here in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, leading to the playoffs, as, their head coach alluded to, that you're – just like any team, you're still trying to build and take away, the positives of what you can do, and understanding that's a solid defense you just played as well. They give you issues and things, so you get to go back to the drawing board and look at what could we have done, or what could we have done, with, what we're able to do, whether we're running the ball or throwing the ball, and how consistently we're able to do okay with both and why we couldn't. So, being able to analyze that is a huge part of it at this time of year.
Well, we'll let her loiter for just a couple of more minutes. We will let you know verbally a couple of finals. Trinity has defeated Ballard 35-3. And, boy, how good is Cal, Marty? They blast Central 49-7.
Yeah, I tell you what, regardless of whether they're playing in their own, classification or another classification, they play disciplined football. They have athletes, to play with. They got great coaches, out there. So they've done a great job with that program for a long time. Not just now, but they really have. They've actually got a quarterback that's been playing for them that, transferred from Trinity as well. So, they're putting pieces together just like everybody. See the manual coaches, talking to their guys, trying to keep them up. But at this point, let them realizing what they did toward the end of the game.
I think that was the challenge to our team after last week. The two losses got beat by great teams in very physical games. I was disappointed in our team last Friday.
I know you.
Not disappointed. We beat Manual, ranked higher than us, and through all the rankings, we won.
We talked about this group and wanting to continue to see guys step up.
Well, I thought our defense, than what it was a week ago. It's kind of sad we gave up plays and that kind of stuff, but I thought play after play after play that we were really good. And they're difficult to defend because of the elusiveness of the quarterback and the quality of their running backs.
Cooper seemed to always be an open field tonight, whether it be in the running game or the passing game. Do you contribute that to just his ability to get open, or did the offensive line do their job?
We struggled to run the football against them last year and made some dedicated efforts to it. Still don't think we ran it as well as we need to. But, we worked back out of the backfield stuff in terms of being able to throw that. It's something that if they play, they can kind of get lost from time to time. Now, one of them was on a scramble situation and way down the field, so that's not really anything that we designed. But, I thought he did a nice job for us, and obviously Wyatt's long touchdown run was huge.
What about Mason being able to come back as well?
Well, I thought he moved around pretty good. It really wasn't until Wednesday where we were satisfied with what he looked like. Like to see him get rid of the football a little bit better rather than hanging on to it. And, proud of capacity to come back in a big game and play really well.
Can you talk about Marlon's touchdown and his big catch down here? And what
Marlon played the whole night as a decoy because they tilted their safety coverage to him, and so we ran a lot of stuff away from him. But the catches, he made a couple of big catches in scramble situations that were really tough catches. Mm-hmm. And very good defensive player. He does a lot of good things for us.
When it comes to medical imaging, you have a choice. Choose Priority Radiology in New Albany for convenient quality services like CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, mammography, and more. A proud community supporter, Priority Radiology is devoted to making sure you're informed and comfortable every step of the way. Tell your doctor or provider that you choose Priority Radiology when outpatient imaging is needed. Visit PriorityRadiology.com, celebrating 20 years of serving our community of athletes. Priority Radiology. You have a choice.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service. And that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
Red Ball is Southern Indiana's recycling choice because we can turn the scrap metal you bring into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by HKC Roofing. For your next roof repair or improvement, contact HKC at 502-212-1081 or visit roofyourhouse.com. HKC Roofing, better than guaranteed.
Back at Manual Stadium, St. X a winner tonight on Glycod on the UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday, 28-17. And Tigers really doing most of their damage in the first half, and they were unstoppable at times.
Really did. I mean, they got out quick, made plays, set things up as they wanted to. Defensively, they pressured, caused a lot of issues for Manual's offense, and then, they may have played a little conservative or, kind of took their foot off of the gas a little bit, in the second half.
So the Tigers win at 28-17. Some finals coming in. Stay close. We'll have our Mike Shelton State Farm Insurance Most Outstanding Player and also take a look at our Week 9 schedule. You're watching high school football on Glycod.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you want the right agents for your real estate, choose the Van Treese team with Semin Realtors, Louisville's oldest and largest real estate firm. Former University of Louisville basketball star Stephen Van Treese and his wife Laura have put their diverse and combined expertise to work in helping you buy or sell your house. Contact the Van Treese team at 502-468-1463 or visit them online at vantreeseteam.seminin.com. Semin Realtors, always one step ahead.
Red Ball Recycling is Southern Indiana's #1 recycling choice for a reason. We offer top dollar for all scrap metal. We can buy steel, copper, aluminum, brass, junk cars, and more. Call or stop by Red Ball Recycling and turn your scrap metal into scrap money. Located in Jeff and Madison.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank. Building our community together.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Van Treese team with Semin Realtors, always one step ahead, and Lines Direct, your window decoration specialists.
Tonight's most outstanding players are presented by State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Mason Trimble, razor sharp tonight, Marty.
Was decision-making in the pocket, out of the pocket. You know, they pressured him, got after him, made him really move his feet. Eye discipline, the whole deal, okay. He definitely, threw some very accurate throws, even on the move as well. So definitely deserving. Played a great game coming back off of injury. So good to see him, get back in the fold.
Cooper Davis-Yates, a pair of receiving touchdowns, and you heard Kevin Wallace's postgame comments that really they went away from Marlon Harbin tonight. What does that say about the depth of their offense that they were able to still produce without going to him as often?
Absolutely. I mean, when you got a guy that you can single him up on one side, and if they're going to take two guys to either double him, play over the top or underneath, whatever it may be, it definitely opens things up, for other players that are stepping up and making plays, which you see from the stat line.
Defensively, Ben Pinkston played quite well. We called his name a lot. Also, Hunt Himsel. And for Manuel, I mean, all jokes aside, let's go with the punter because he was really solid tonight.
Yeah, I mean, punting and kicking. And, when you're looking at Jackson Pritz for what he did, I mean, heck, he even had an onside kick, even though they called a penalty. It was pretty much in place, that they could have almost recovered it too. So between that, kicking field goals, punting, really put him in good situations with that. But, definitely consistency is what I look for. So he was consistent, okay, man, every time he hit the field.
Jerry and Trainer, a solid long rushing touchdown. But for the most part, he was kept under wraps.
He was. And, I mean, the way they play their defense, with that 3-4 and the, really where the linebackers are coming from, who's, hot, who's not, with their outside linebackers. That was an issue they talked about before the game, with Manuel, that they were going to try to neutralize, but didn't do a whole lot, to kind of be consistent with that, really, especially knowing, who was coming and who wasn't. So caused a lot of issues, man. But tell you what, St. X's defense, really put the brakes on their run game.
There will be a shakeup in the RPI coming up on Monday. St. X was 7. Manual was 2. Certainly some movement both ways for both these teams. And then a look at Week 9, presented by our great friends Stephen and Laura Van Treese at Paul Semin Realtors. You can contact them if you want to put your home on the market or perhaps need some advice about the housing industry. Male Fern Creek next week. That's one of 4 great games. And you got that Douglas Bryan Station. This is a Frederick Douglass team, similar to St. X, that got some early losses, but they're getting better as the season goes on.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Guzman, which is playing quarterback for him, a freshman, really coming around, but getting that experience and, you kind of get every game, that you play, you just kind of add a little bit more to, more looks, more experience, so seeing these kids step up and their program step up as well is strong.
That'll do it for all of us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us live at DuPont Manual High School, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Had a few tech issues, but as always, we do our best to provide the most positive representation for high school athletics. So for all of our great crew, Steve Bird is our producer, Joe O'Million on camera, Casey Huff on the sidelines, and Marty Lowe, our analyst. I'm Chris LaBar. Good night from Louisville. You've been watching UA Local 502 Louisville Football Friday. from Glycod.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. Big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. We're lending more than money. We're lending a hand. German American Bank, building our community together.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Hi folks, Mike Kennedy for HKC Roofing. HKC installs the most effective gutter guard on the market at half the cost of the national brands. We guarantee it. Call today for an additional 20% off.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
You cannot depend on Oliver's parallel parking.
Hey, you got it, man!
But you can always depend on his car starting because he has an Interstate battery. Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
UA Local 502 is powered by Louisville and Southern Indiana's best trained, most productive plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC service technicians. A proud community partner with over a century's worth of service, UA Local 502 members have the knowledge and experience for the project you want done, whether it's large or small. Visit lu502.com for information about the contractors who employ our members. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're tuned in to Louisville Football Friday from Glycod.